seconds. He has to hurry. Kobe pulls up, right elbow.
Welcome, everyone, to Los Angeles, home to Hollywood. And for tonight, the NBA playoffs. It's Game 6. And the Phoenix Suns, for a second consecutive game, are facing elimination. The Staples Center is sold out, and the Los Angeles Lakers are up 3-2. With Doug Collins and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan as we look at our McDonald's starting lineups. Doug, we've got some interesting changes, especially for the Phoenix Suns tonight.
Yeah, with Roger Bell being out with the suspension, the matchup that I'm going to be watching early is Leandro Barbosa and Kobe Bryant. The question's going to be is, can Barbosa stay out of early foul trouble? Kevin, I think that's going to be a big story here because he does have the speed and quickness, Barbosa, to get up and down the floor and cause problems. Talk about that speed game that Charles Barkley was talking about in the studio. That's the only way the Suns can win. They've got to keep this game up tempo. Barbosa's got to stay on the floor, and they got to have big nights from Sean Marion and Steve Nash and Boris Diaw.
And Doug, some keys tonight for the Phoenix Suns, again facing elimination, down 3-2.
Well, they got to play it wide open in the series when they've scored 100 points and shot 45%. They've won both games. Frontline play, the LA starters averaging 18 more points than their regular season average. The turnover story. In the last 2 games, the Lakers have turned the ball over 37 times for 34 Phoenix points. They have to cut those down, and then you throw in the Kobe factor. And Kevin, that is a big one. 3 NBA titles, 124 career playoff games, almost 23 points a game, and he's the NBA scoring leader this year at 35 points. He is the guy that can make the difference. He's the one that has all the experience, so you'd have to favor LA going into the game tonight. They know that this is sort of like their Game 7. They do not want to go back to Phoenix. Both road teams earlier have closed out the series. Can the Lakers make it 3 in a row here tonight?
Our officials tonight here in Los Angeles, Dick Bavetta, Joe DeRosa, and Derek Stafford. Doug, compounding the problems for the Phoenix Suns, they've had no practice except for a couple of walkthroughs. Their bench is different starting lineup. Kobe is there. I mean, it seems like a lot is being piled on the Suns right now.
Well, just when you think you're getting a handle on this Laker team, you outplay them in Game 4, you let a game slip away, you beat them in Game 5. Now you've got to try to adjust on the fly to a new starting lineup on the road in a closeout game. Let's see what Phoenix can do here tonight. You know, the Lakers are probably going to look early to go into the post. They've been doing it all series long.
Luke Walton begins it for the first time, and Kobe Bryant coming off a 29-point performance on Tuesday. Rebound by James Jones. Here comes Steve Nash, who had 4 assists and 4 turnovers in Game 5. Also 22 points to lead the Phoenix Suns. And Sean Marion, who has put together a string of very good second halves. It's the first half, which is a concern to the Suns.
Well, they're going to need him for 48 minutes tonight. He cannot have a subpar first half.
And Kobe Bryant.
So that's the difference right there. He can overpower Leandro Barbosa, takes it right at the rim, and shoots the little easy shot right around the basket.
Nash inside for Diaw, coming off what was almost a triple-double on Tuesday.
He's been brilliant the last 2 games. Of any guy who has really elevated his play for the Phoenix Suns, it's been Boris Diaw. The last 2 games, he's been sensational.
He was the top scorer on Tuesday with 25 points and missed a triple-double by just a single assist. Smush Parker drawing the double. And Luke Walton. Lamar Odom, and a screen by Brown for Walton.
One of the things the Lakers have done, they've incorporated all 5 guys. In the regular season, that was not the case. Boris Diaw is going to go right at Brown.
And Leandro Barbosa, who during this regular season, Doug, was a sensational 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he really has struggled in this series, but in the regular season, shot 44%, only 25% or 3 of 12. Big start, though, tonight for him to hit his first shot.
Walton trying to establish himself inside with the defending James Jones.
Luke Walton has done a nice job in that post. Phil Jackson loves to post him because he's also an excellent passer in that triangle offense out of the post.
Nash. Diaw. And Barbosa with the shot clock at 7. Sean Marion for 3.
Good signs for Phoenix. Sean Marion's on the board. Barbosa's on the board. They've hit 2 threes. They're moving the basketball. Good start here for the Suns.
Here's Walton, who did not score in the second half on Tuesday, had 9 in the first, and a putback by Kwame Brown. He's coming off a 14-point game on Tuesday, and Doug, he had foul trouble early in that game.
Yeah, got off to a great start, hit his first 3 shots, and got 3 fouls and had to sit down. Here's Diao again, just going right around Kwame Brown. Early in the series, he was tentative against Kwame Brown. Now he's taking the ball and making Kwame have to slide his feet defensively. Does not have the quickness to match him.
There's a quick foul. And it's on Lamar Odom, as that has been an interesting matchup in this series, Odom against Sean Marion.
Well, remember, he did that the other night, Marion, in Game 5, as Odom slashed into the post. He stepped in front and took the offensive foul. I expect this game to be called close early. It's been chippy the last few games. The referees are not going to let it get out of control.
Look at Nash. He floats in, and just like that, the Phoenix Suns have a lead of 4.
Points in the paint have swung to the Phoenix Suns over the last 2 games after being dominated by the Lakers in the first 3.
Quick double on Odom. Sneaks a pass into Brown. If he can do that, that's going to be a very effective weapon tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, he had 5 assists the other night, but 3 turnovers. Kobe actually had 11 assists and 8 turnovers in that game of the 20 turnovers that the Lakers had. Kwame Brown just has to present himself at the basket, because with all the double teaming, if they find him, all he has to do is catch the ball and dunk it. He's had an offensive rebound for a score and an easy dunk. That's what they want him to do, present himself at the rim.
Luke Walton picked up his first foul. There's a shot by Sean Marion, who has started 2 of 3, 5 points in 4 minutes.
Averaging 6 points in the first half in this series. Off to a quick start. And again, Kevin, they need a big night from him.
And Smush Parker, who's had shooting woes of late, picked up by Diao. And it's a Nash 3, and the 3-point shooting tonight, huge for the Phoenix Suns.
They have to win it by double digits. They're 3 of 3. When you turn the ball over, that's when the Suns hit you with those 3.
Suns have hit 7 consecutive shots.
Now, Smush Parker's got to get himself involved in this game.
And into Nash. Rebound by James Jones.
Smush Parker now 3 of his last 20 shots from the floor.
And Jones for 3. He perfected that shot with the Indiana Pacers. 8 consecutive hits by the Phoenix Suns, who have had every single starter score to begin this game.
Well, Kobe Bryant did an interview with David Aldridge before the game. They said, what's your biggest concern? He says, our youth and our inexperience. And right now, the Lakers have a little hangover. Look for Kobe and Phil Jackson over that huddle to try to jumpstart them. They're down by 10.
Off on a 12-2 run, including 8 consecutive points against a very young Los Angeles Laker team tasting the playoffs, led by Kobe Bryant. But he recognizes to lead a young team is a handful.
Concerns? Youth, inexperience. That's always a concern. But I think we do a good job of learning as we go and making improvements on the fly.
He's got a lead.
Well, this is where his experience will take over. He's got to know this whole game what his team needs from him. Do they need him to score? Do they need him to pass?
That's Odom inside trying to force the issue. It's a Phoenix foul as neither team made a change coming out of their timeout. The foul, Doug Collins goes on James Jones for the first time.
Well, James Jones has played much better, Kevin, over the last couple basketball games. He got off to a really slow start. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds in Game 4, 9 points and 9 rebounds in Game 5. And if you remember, he had 5 of the first 7 points when they jumped out to a 7-0 lead and really never looked back in that game. So he needs to play well so that Tim Thomas can come off the bench. They need some size and some pop coming off that bench. And then Eddie House tonight has really been shackled by Vujicic. He's going to have to give them something as well. So everything has to go right for this Suns team tonight. Undermanned and undersized, and with Roger Bell, their best defender, being out.
Nash drawn double and pickpocketed by Smush Parker, an ex-Phoenix Suns player. That's the first turnover by the Phoenix Suns. That's picked off inside by Sean Marion. Nash against Parker. And it's Jones around Walton. James Jones, fast start. You thought they needed it. He is 2 of 2 with 5 and 5.
Well, same as he did in game 5. Got him out of the gate real quickly. the Reggie Miller disciple. Reggie's got to be very proud of how well he's playing and growing up.
Here's Walton, who's taken the second most shots on the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs. Another in-tight tip-in by Kwame Brown.
Well, see, when you get all that congestion in there and all those double teams, nobody's blocking out Kwame Brown, so he has 3 layups right now.
They go for Marion. And Odom grabs it. Odom leads the NBA playoffs in rebounding so far. Bryant to Walton.
See, Kobe knows he can get wherever he wants to get on the floor, but this is what Barbosa wants to do. He wants to attack back. Phil Jackson told us before the game, Barbosa here as he loads up this 3, that Kobe has played against him one time as a starter, so he knows his speed. But Barbosa's hit 2 threes here already in this game. You know that has to lift his confidence.
Jones is 2 of 2. Barbosa is 2 of 2. Marion is 2 of 4. And the Phoenix Suns are shooting 83% from the field. Shot clock at 6 for Kobe. Backing in on Barbosa. That's usually where Raja Bell would be. A good pass. Odom was whacked in a foul. Jones picks it up. It looks like for the Phoenix Suns as we check in with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, you talk about Leandro Barbosa. This is the biggest game of his career. He knows it, the third-year guard. He spent about 45 minutes alone in his hotel room last night looking at tape of Kobe Bryant, trying to find any tendencies and clues. He knows that Bryant likes to go baseline. He says he'll try to push him to the middle. That's obviously easier said than done. He knows that this is going to be a very tough assignment for him, but he thinks it's possible. He says, I'm coming here to work. Today is for work, guys.
He's in his 3rd season from Brazil, Doug. He played a couple seasons in the Brazilian League. He's coming off a career year like 6 other of his teammates, led by Steve Nash.
You know, David, I might have waited till this morning to watch that tape, because if I would have watched it, I don't know if I would have slept last
exactly.
night. I might have, my timing might have been different. I would have watched the tape, but I would have waited till the last second.
James Jones has taken a breather on the Phoenix bench. They have brought in Tim Thomas with Odom at the line. Odom is coming off a Game 5 of 18 points and 15 rebounds. If anybody has benefited from the quote-unquote unselfish Kobe, it is Lamar Odom.
And I think that with when Luke Walton went into the starting lineup, I thought the guys who were affected positively the most for the Lakers were Lamar Odom and Kwame Brown, because Luke Walton loves to pass the ball. And he will throw the ball in the post and find those guys. And I thought when he stepped in the lineup, both of those guys' play were elevated.
And he's a decent defender, too, speaking of Walton.
He does a nice job. You know, he knows his angles out on the floor.
Diaw to Nash, and quickly picked up by Parker with a screen by Diaw. Tim Thomas had a monster Game 1 of 22 points and 15 rebounds, and that is a Laker foul, and Smush Parker will pick it up. And Parker picks up his first. That is a quick start like he predicted for the Suns.
Well, if you look at it right now, they have 15 points at the three-point line, 10 at the two-point line. That's Phoenix Suns basketball. They want to get you into that kind of game where you're trading 2 to their 3.
Shot clock is at 7. And Boris Diaw from France, the ex-Atlanta Hawk. Out of bounds off the Phoenix Suns. Barbosa's about 6'3", Kobe's 6'7", weight difference. Put us in Barbosa's shoes.
Well, Kobe knows he can shoot whenever he wants to. I mean, when you have that kind of confidence as a player, you just take your time, get the ball down on the post, and Barbosa knows he has to stay out of foul trouble. There's that baseline spin. Barbosa does a nice job checking it off.
And how about Kobe? The double was there, and he quickly snapped the pass off the wall.
Well, the Suns have to double team 2 guys. Here's right back at you. Barbosa misses that one. But when you have to double team, you're scrambling now on the weak side. You make the extra pass, you're going to get shots, and you're going to get offensive rebounds.
Kobe Bryant is 1 of 2. Suns ball.
That's where Kwame's got to try to catch that ball with 2 hands. It was a pass that was too hard. But rather than try to go with one, you've got to try to get both hands on that ball, at least knock it down and keep it in play. But Kobe, you have to be aware all the time. He's one of those guys that at the last minute will pull 2 guys and find the open man and make the pass. Watch him out of the double team now. Here comes Barbosa and Diaw. That leaves that baseline pass. Coaches work on that all the time, fanning that ball down that baseline side because of all the double teams. That's why if you're Barbosa, you have to spin him back because your double team was coming from the top side there. You can't let him go away from the double.
Doug, Phil Jackson told us earlier in this series, because and you can see the blood now being attended to out of the mouth of Leandro Barbosa, and already we've had our first blood in this Game 6, and we've had a lot of bumps and bruises both ways throughout this series. Little elbow action here by Kobe Bryant. And that's what Bell was complaining about the other night, and that caught him right in the chops. But Doug, Phil Jackson told us earlier in this series, he said, they're such a high-scoring team. The number one scoring team the Phoenix Suns were in the regular season. We've got to limit them to only one 30-point quarter per game. Right now, with 4.5 to play in the first, the Suns at 25.
Well, in Game 1, they had two. They had a 39-point first quarter, a 32-point fourth quarter. They won that game. They had 100-plus points. The other night, they had 4 quarters of 27, 28, 27, 29, 28, and 30. A 30-point quarter. So since Game 1, they've only had 2 30-point quarters. But both games the Suns won. They won by scoring 114 points in Game 5, and in Game 1 they won by scoring 107. When they have been under 100 and shot under 45%, they've lost all 3 games.
It's amazing, isn't it, how those numbers have stuck through every single game of this series?
Well, teams, obviously you get to a point in time where this is what your recipe for success is, and for the Suns, it's running. The one thing the Suns have done is we see Barbosa being taken off the court. Might have to go back and get some stitches. But the one thing that the Suns have done is they've actually played good defense, and over the last 2 games they've rebounded the ball better. I think Mike D'Antoni, the one thing he gets tired of hearing is that this team wasn't built for the playoffs. But you know what? He was hoping to have Amari Stoudemire this year and also Kurt Thomas. So if those 2 guys were on this team, you'd have some bigger bodies out on the floor.
James Jones has come back out onto the floor. You take a look at Kurt Thomas. He is rehabbing right now. May be ready for a second-round series should it come Phoenix's way. Jones is in, so now the question is, I guess they put Jones or who on Kobe Bryant with Diaw missing from the line, and a rebound yanked down by Odom. So let's see as we get down here who they're going to put on. Looks like Marion with Odom inside, flying by Diaw.
See, now what happens is now you got Diaw having to play Lamar Odom, so now you lose the quickness matchup, and Diaw is playing against a quicker player.
Diaw lasers it into Tim Thomas, and a foul counted for 2. It's on Kwame Brown.
This is the matchup problems that I was talking about, Kevin. The moment that Barbosa goes out of the game now Sean Marion has to play against Kobe Bryant. Tim Thomas has been terrific off the bench. Kwame Brown slides over. Dick Bavetta thought he had not gotten there soon enough, and you go up, you concentrate, you hear the whistle, and you go for the 3-point play. But look at his numbers, 15-plus points, shooting 54%. How about from the 3-point line? He's 14 out of 26. He has 14 of the 43 threes that the Suns have made going into tonight's game.
And he's the biggest guy on the team. I mean, he has...
he would be playing small forward right now for most teams, and he's guarding Kwame Brown at center.
Isn't that something? We're still tending to Barbosa. Bell, of course, suspended for this game. Here comes Odom. That was kicked.
The game plan on Odom is you're going to try to spin him baseline, and you got a guy running baseline, and they're trying to trap him down there and take away his passing lanes and get him to turn the basketball over. The other night he was careless. He did not take care of the ball. He had 3 turnovers.
Marion on Kobe Bryant. And Thomas comes out to lend a hand. It doesn't do any good as Kobe Bryant has put in 4, hitting 2 of his first 3 shots of the game.
So now all you're asking Sean Marion to do is get you 24 points, 12 rebounds, and guard Kobe Bryant.
And here's Nash, a little bit short, knew he was going to miss it, almost got his own miss. Odom picks up another rebound. He has now collected 3.
Luke Walton has Nash in a mismatch.
Smush Parker for 3. Walton against the weaker and smaller Nash, has shoved him out of the way, grabbed the loose ball, and puts it back in.
Well, that's the problem you have when you're undersized.
This is Jones by Walton, and a foul called on Luke Walton.
The Lakers owned the paint, and they owned the offensive rebounds for games 1 through 3. That has not been the case in 4 and 5. Again, that trickle-down effect. You lose Raja Bell, now you've got Nash and Barbosa out there together, and all of a sudden that size starts paying dividends for the Lakers.
The Phoenix Suns have led by as many as 10 in a game that has already contained 3 lead changes as we check in with our David Aldridge for tonight's Gatorade Around the Cooler report. David?
Well, Kevin, it's been a tough day, obviously, for Roger Bell. He was here this morning for the team shoot-around, but he's not allowed in the building at all because of his suspension during the game. So he spent the afternoon at his hotel, and right now he's at a local restaurant watching the game. He will join up with the team at the airport when the game is over. But he did talk to Leandro Barbosa, offer him some pointers about how to try and guard Kobe Bryant. He said, look, what works for me may not work for him. He told Barbosa he has to adjust quickly to however the referees are calling the game. Whatever you do wrong, he told Barbosa, don't do it again, guys.
Bell's a rugged guy, and anything he says, these young kids will listen to. And here's Tim Thomas with the three-point shot. Doug was just telling us about how good he has been in this particular series in three-point shooting. And here comes Kobe Bryant the other way. The difference in the game, the Phoenix Suns plus 15 above the arc tonight. The Lakers and points in the paint, second chance points, Doug, and rebounding as Brown is inside, getting another offensive rebound and puts that one back in. The Lakers have thrived inside in this game.
Well, they're shooting, 12 for 17 from the floor, and they have 4 offensive rebounds, so they've only missed 5 shots, and they got 4 of them back.
Here's Nash, who's got 5 and 4 assists. Into Parker and by Parker, and into Brown, who gave very little resistance.
You know how good that was? See, Steve Nash finishes with his left hand at the basket better than he does his right, and you have to recognize that when you play him.
It almost looks like he's in slow motion when he's moving.
That's because he's so efficient. Great players make the game look easy.
Devin George is in and quickly knocks down a 3.
How about Devin George's numbers? He's 7 of 15 now from the three-point line, 2 of 8 from 2.
George is on Nash. Parker is guarding Thomas. That's a mismatch right there. Parker wants some help. Knocked away by George. Nash has a call in the timeout, and this time it is recognized. This time they hurt him. And he gets the timeout as we're tied at 30.
Well, Steve Nash felt he was hit on the wrist as he went through the lane by Devin George. There he is. He has it in his left hand, calling timeout, laying down on the floor in traffic. He was able to get the signal. And Kevin, these are the obstacles you have when you lose a key man. Raja Bell, your key Kobe defender is out. Raja Bell. Now your matchup changed. Barbosa's out. Now Marion's guarding Kobe Bryant. Your best bench player is now a starter. So now you lose things off of your bench. You have to make the defensive adjustments even though you've won because you have different personnel. And on top of it, you're on the road in a win-or-go-home game. These are all the things the Suns are looking at tonight to try to push to a Game 7.
That's a lot. 3-2 Lakers lead this series. At 3-1, the pressure was on Phoenix to stay alive. They win that. Now at 3-2, the pressure back on Los Angeles to win or go back to Phoenix for Game 7, where they lost on Tuesday, and Game 7 would be Saturday night. Shot clock at 5 for Nash, and across the lane, handing to Sean Marion. Picked up by Kwame Brown.
Those are the shots that Sean Marion has to finish tonight. That's his little patented flip shot in the lane.
Lakers on an 18-8 run. This follows a 12-2 run by the Phoenix Suns.
Now you got James Jones guarding Kwame Brown. A horrible mismatch there for the Suns as Kobe drives in traffic and loses the ball.
5 Laker turnovers, and Diaw tried to convert. Whacked as he went inside, and here comes Smush Parker. George. Odom. Drive! Pass by Lamar Odom.
Kwame Brown's got 10 points, and they've been 4 dunks and a tip-in. So he's just laying right around the basket.
Brown has 10 points and 4 rebounds, and there is a foul, and it's on Boris Diaw. That's the first on Diaw of the Phoenix Suns.
As well as the Suns have played, the Lakers have taken the lead. So that big lead is gone. The dominance inside of the Lakers starting to take over. Kwame Brown has 10 points, all in the paint. Off arm by Boris Diaw gets called for the foul. Diaw only with 4, Marion with 5. Kwame Brown with 10 has outscored both of them.
Odom's got 5. Here's Parker. Kobe. Free pass to George.
That's that triangle offense. When the corner gets caught peeking at the post, you're taught to cut baseline. The Bulls used to do it perfection with Phil.
Round 3 will not fly. We have had a 14-point turnaround in this first quarter. The Phoenix Suns are up by 10, 20 to 10. The Suns have a foul to give in the final 10 seconds of the first quarter. Brown a screen. Bryant. Clock at 2.8. Both teams, Doug, have had lights-out shooting. Lakers at 71% and the Phoenix Suns at 57% for the first quarter.
Well, for the Suns, you have to be saying we're 5 of 9 from 3. We're plus 12 in that position. You'd think you'd be up right now, but you're down 4, all because of the dominance in the paint by the Lakers.
Brian Cook has come in for Kwame Brown because he can shoot from outside. They go inside. Parker caught it, and he was fouled by Steve Nash with 1.8 to play in the first quarter. First on Nash.
And the first foul in the last 2 minutes, so they will not be shooting. Nice pass here by Lamar Odom, and Steve Nash just got trailing, a little bump there. Keep your eye on Brian Cook here. He's a terrific three-point shooter and has a very quick release.
Kobe Bryant at the buzzer. Oh, he got it! Right between the eyes.
Now demoralizing for the Phoenix Suns. Get off to a brilliant start. You go on a 12-0 run, you're up. And the Lakers just keep pounding away, pounding the paint. And then Kobe Bryant, that little fist pump that we saw at the end of Game 4, hits the 3 to push it to 7.
The Los Angeles Lakers have just achieved their highest scoring quarter of the series. Down by 10, they lead by 7. A 17-point turnaround in our first quarter. Fans, be sure to participate in tonight's text message question. Will there be a Lakers-Sun Game 7? A yes and B no. Text A or B to 88222. With Doug Collins and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Doug, the Suns' big lead of 10 at 22-12. Just under 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. The Lakers close that first quarter on a 25-8 run, including 10 consecutive points to finish things off, as Barbosa will come out of the locker room, presumably with stitches, and he'll be back in the game.
Well, you see what the run was when he went out 18-5 for the Lakers to get that run kicked in, but the Suns shoot 57%, hit 5 threes, and are down 7 because the Lakers shoot 73%, miss only 6 shots, and get 4 offensive rebounds. Nash knocks in the little jumper. The Suns had 2 rebounds in that first quarter, two defensive rebounds, because the Lakers only missed 6 shots and they had 4 offensive rebounds. There was only 2 rebounds to get on the defensive end. They had no offensive rebounds.
73% shooting by the Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe Bryant got Marion in the air. And then here is the newly instated Sasha Vujacic, who's taking the place of Smush Parker. Marion chases it down. And he's out there with Jones, Marion, Diaw, Nash, and Tim Thomas. Diaw comes sliding in with the dunk.
See, if you're Suns, you just got to keep playing because you have the ability to score a lot of points. You just got to keep the pressure on. This is going to be one of those games for the Suns to win. They might have to score 115 points. They're not going to do it on the defensive end because they can't guard the paint against this team right now.
Brown and George, Odom, Vujacic, and Bryant, the Laker 5 to begin the second quarter. Marion guarding Bryant, and Kobe with the travel. 6 turnovers. Dave, what do you have?
Well, Leandro Barbosa got a couple of stitches and a new shirt, and is back on the floor, as you can see. And once again, Suns wondering if Kobe's going to get called for those elbows that obviously opened Barbosa up a little bit, guys.
Think had that been Bell. How about that? That would have really been something. Eddie House has come in for the Phoenix Suns. Tim Thomas against Odom.
Well, Tim Thomas has been a load. He has played well. This guy played only 3 games all season long. And quietly, these Suns are right back in it, Kevin, down only 1. They just got to keep playing and pounding away and hope they can outshoot this Laker team tonight.
It was a 10-0 Laker run. Now it's a 6-0 Phoenix Suns run. We've had a game of runs. The foul goes, Doug, on Tim Thomas for the first time.
Boris Diaw now has to slide over and play Lamar Odom. They're giving Sean Marion a little bit of a rest here on Devin George. He'll probably be the double team guy.
Brown with 10 points and 4 rebounds. He's been feasting on others' double team and been open. Left free underneath. Vujicic. Well, he's kind of come out of no place, Doug. He was the 10th leading scorer in the regular season for the Lakers, and here he is with a very important role in these playoffs. The foul is quickly thrown on Smush Parker, who just checked off the Laker bench, and he picks up his first, make it second personal foul.
This is Vujicic's first 2-point field goal in the series. He was 8 of 12, leading the playoffs, shooting 67%. He'd been 0 for 5 from the 2-point line until he drove that ball in the basket. It's interesting, Vujicic was 0 for 5 from the 2-point line going into tonight's game. Brian Cook was 10 for 27, and Devin George were 2 for 8, and all 3 of those guys were shooting very, very well from the 3-point line.
Barbosa's bleeding again. He is in the game.
They'll have to keep their eye on him.
Drive it into Brown, and Kwame picks up the foul. Now remember, Kwame Brown in Game 5 Tuesday in Phoenix got in early foul trouble. Although he did not miss a shot from the field, he was just assessed his second personal foul of the game.
See, that's where Kwame is big enough, rather than try to take the charge, to slide over and jump up and defend the shot, because twice he's been called for getting there a little late. Now, he looked like he was in pretty good position there, but he's big enough to go up and challenge the shot rather than to try to take that charge.
Barbosa has made every shot from the free throw line in the playoffs, now 15 of 15. Friday on ESPN, it's Cleveland at Washington Game 6. San Antonio, Sacramento Game 6. And ABC will have a doubleheader with the teams to be determined on Sunday. Kobe comes back in, and Bryant 13 minutes, 3 of 4 from the field, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 7 points.
See, this is what Phil Jackson used to do all the time with Chicago. He would have Scottie Pippen on the floor with 4 bench players to sort of solidify the team when he was giving Michael Jordan and the rest of the starters a rest. Tonight he has Kobe out there. I think that's Luke Walton, another starter, with Devin George, Brian Cook, and Vujicic. So now Kobe will be the guy who will run this team so that Phil can rest his starters. It's exactly what he used to do in Chicago, and it was Pippen who would do it.
Lakers have led by 7. Suns have led by 10. Kobe Bryant into 3 defending Suns players.
No shot blocking at the basket. Kobe knows it.
You were interested to see the demeanor of Barbosa when he got back on the floor.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you get cracked and you get bloody and little stitches. You don't know how you're going to come back. He's come back well. I like that. You know, he's still aggressive.
George defending Thomas. Rebound by Sean Marion, and a foul called on Devin George.
They always talk about that in boxing. How's a guy going to react when he gets his nose bloodied or his eye cut a little bit? You know, what's it going to do to the fight? Who's that guy that draws first blood? And I like what Barbosa has done. He's out there now with Eddie House, but he's come back. He's been aggressive, drove the ball to the basket. He's not blinking at all. I like that in a young player.
Nash continues to rest. This is by design. If he's going to get rest, it's going to be in the first half. Here's Marion with the Thomas screen. And picked up by Diaw with a great rebound and inside to Thomas. He gets it back and surrounded in a straitjacket by Laker defenders, and there's a foul. Boy, he would not give up, and that tenacity paid off.
Well, he was very upset he missed an easy shot. I was just checking to see if there was going to be any kind of delay of game here, because afterwards, Tim Thomas sort of knocked the ball away. And make sure you don't want any delay of games, any things that can lead to free points.
Vujicic picks up his first. And not to belabor the story of Thomas, which we've told a couple times, but here's a guy that was in Chicago to begin the season, lasted a couple weeks. They said, go home. You'll remain on our roster. We'll continue to pay you, but we've got other players we want to develop. So he sat at his home in Philadelphia for 4 months and celebrated the holidays with his family. And then Phoenix called when Kurt Thomas went down, and he has come in and really made a dent on this team.
And you know what? It wasn't that Chicago was really punishing this guy. They had Andres Nocioni. They had Luol Deng. He's a free agent. They were not going to give him minutes this year and take away from the young kids that they're trying to develop. So he was sort of the odd man out there. He got his paycheck, stayed in shape, and when Kurt Thomas got hurt, he came in here. And who knows what would be happening to this team if he weren't here.
Here's Bryant, picked up by Marion. Not Barbosa. They keep Marion on Kobe. George for 3. Hit the side of the backboard. There's Luke Walton. But the shot clock's at 7. It did not reset. Now it's at 6, and it's out of bounds. There's Thomas. Remember, his game 1 was just absolutely terrific.
Yeah, 22 points. How about 15 defensive rebounds in that game? And they need him to rebound. You know, the Suns, for them to stay in the game, can't be pounded on the boards and in the paint. because right now they're doing a good job at the three-point line, and they're still trailing by 1.
Phoenix began the game on a 12-2 run. LA countered with a 25-8 run. We're close right now. Lakers by 1. This Raja Bell, Kobe Bryant battle is its roots back to the finals in 2001 when he was at Philadelphia. Then with Utah, there was a little bit of a tussle between the two. This series has seen a lot, but earlier in this season, these two got together with a shove by Kobe Bryant. Then in Game 5, you saw the supposed elbow right there, then the horse collar by Bell, the suspension which followed. So there is a history with these two, the game suspension on Bell, and here you can see other suspensions league-wide in this first round.
Well, I think the league has sent the message out, we're not going to tolerate any activity that could lead to injury. There's been fines with guys criticizing officials. They're cleaning it up, try to get rid of all that conspiracy stuff and all the talking and all the stuff that goes on in the playoffs.
Shot clock is at 4 on the inbound. Here's Kobe working on Marion. Oh! Picked up by Tim Thomas. Lakers, by the way, have 4 team fouls, Doug. And if they get Phoenix to the line, watch out. The Suns a very accurate free throw shooting team.
Well, just keep your eye on the Vujacic-House matchup. He's not giving Eddie House an inch to get at that open shot. And that's one of the things, Kevin, exactly right. You get early in the penalty and get to the foul line. There's a dig down and the steal by Walton.
Walton and Vujacic. Luke Walton. That is a charge. That's the third on Luke Walton.
10 turnovers for the Lakers. Remember, they had 20 in Game 5. They had 17 in Game 3. 34 total points for the Suns in those 2 games combined. Tonight, the Suns already have 9 points off 10 turnovers. Let's keep our eye on that as that continues to mount. Right now, that's really the only negative that the Lakers have tonight is their turnover.
Lamar Odom has come back in the game for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Luke Walton has just checked out. Here is Barbosa, heaving his way by Cook for 2.
He is so quick. I think he and Tony Parker, with that basketball in the open court, are so fast.
That's high praise.
Oh, I mean, these guys are so fast.
Gilbert Arenas was pretty quick last night, wasn't he?
And then you throw in the power package for that thing, too, not just speed, but how big and strong he is.
Odom looking inside, deflected by Thomas. Shot clock at 7, Doug, as the Phoenix Suns have begun this second quarter on a 12-4 run.
Well, Barbosa has come back. He's given them a nice lift. They were down 18-5 when he was out last time. He's come back in and given them a nice little lift. Here's an offensive foul. The 11th Laker turnover. This one is on Brian Cook. So Lakers' mistakes right now are allowing the Phoenix Suns to have a 1-point lead. Let's keep our eye on Brian Cook. He's going to come in on the backside there, moving on the pick. Now, Kobe was a big part of that foul because he went before the screen got set. You have to wait for the pick to get there.
Cook picks up his first personal foul. Now he tries to guard Barbosa. Eddie House. Nice pass, athletic pass to Marion. House, who was a great fourth quarter shooter, has been hot coming off the bench all season long. Has been cold, though, in this series.
Well, they've chased him off every three-point shot. He's not made a 3 in this series. That's his second 2-point field goal.
Cook to Odom, who draws a double. And the foul, and the 2. That was a beautiful play by Lamar Odom. And the foul goes inside, it looks like, on Barbosa, who picks up his first personal foul for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, when teams double team, that means they're going to be open areas because in essence, you've got 2 guys playing 1, and then that means 3 are playing 4. So you really have to take your time out of double teams. You can't speed up. You got to really slow down and see where they're coming from and find the open areas.
Odom has played for the Clippers, Miami, and the Lakers now for the second consecutive season. He came in the Shaquille O'Neal trade from the Miami Heat a couple years ago. And he has blossomed, and this is his second year with Kobe Bryant. Here comes Barbosa. It looked like he got tripped on the side, and that's exactly what Dick Pavetta calls. Was it Cook? It was, for a second time. 5 team fouls now on the Lakers.
So now 7:07 to go. Kevin, remember we were sitting around for breakfast today, and I said one of the things to watch for is how quickly the Phoenix Suns can get to the free throw line in a quarter. 7:07. Let's see if they can take advantage of it, because in the series they're shooting 90%. And Barbosa, I don't think, has missed a free throw the entire playoff.
He is not, Doug. He's perfect.
14 of 14. That makes it 15 of 15 now. So if you shoot them well, make sure you try to get there. Actually, he's now 17 of 17. So Kwame Brown coming back into the game for Bryant Cook. And Kwame's had a terrific start to this game, 5 of 6, 4 rebounds, 10 points, and he actually basically has matched Diao and Marion. Those two guys have a combined 11, and he has 10.
You know, one of the great recipients of this speed game for Phoenix is Barbosa, and he's kind of the motor along with Nash that make it go. In practice, Doug, they don't use a 24-second shot clock. They use a 20-second shot clock to really have a new gear to their offense.
That's my kind of coach.
Yeah.
Get it down there and shoot it.
I knew you'd like it.
I would have loved playing for Mike D'Antoni.
He missed his second, did Barbosa, so he's 1 of 2 in his first playoff miss. It's Odom. Did he step out of bounds? Indeed, he did.
See, Lamar Odom's got to recognize they're funneling him down on that baseline and trapping him. So he's got to stay out of that area. This is the 6th game you've played against this team. You've watched all kinds of tape. You know where the defense is coming from. Look at this Brazilian blur who tossed it up this time.
Parker intercepted it, now faces Nash as he comes the other way. Bryant is being picked up by Marion. Barbosa was on him initially, then Barbosa got cut in the mouth, had to go get stitches in the locker room. And Marion, I guess they must feel, is doing a pretty good job on Bryant to keep him on there. Now Barbosa's watching Devin George and bumped him a little bit right there. George to Brown.
How about Barbosa leaks out on the break? You got to go back and rebound the ball. See, he's looking at himself right now. See, he's normally used to running out of there. In a game like this, you've got to rebound it. Kwame Brown loses it. That's turnover number 12.
We're talking to Mike D'Antoni before the game. And he was saying, you know, I've toyed with starting Barbosa in the past, but just have never really been provoked to doing it. He said, tonight could really blossom and work out perfectly for us in the absence of Bell. Nash, Tim Thomas with 3 on the shot clock.
They're going for that little screen roll with Nash and Tim Thomas. So when they switch it, Tim Thomas is punishing the smaller defender.
Los Angeles Lakers won 3 consecutive games after a down a game. They won by 6, 7, and by 1 on this floor in overtime on Sunday. Then they lost by 17 on Tuesday. The Lakers lead this series 3-2. The Suns are facing elimination, leading now by 3 halfway through our second quarter on TNT.
Of the NBA.
Last time, she made you talk. This time, she'll leave you speechless.
Sorry.
The new season, Kara Sedgwick returns as the closer, coming this June only on TNT.
Phoenix led by 10. LA took a 7-point lead at the end of 1. Now Phoenix by 3 turnovers, Doug. And you thought this coming in would be a big factor in this game, beginning with LA and translating into some Phoenix success.
Well, they had 20 turnovers in Game 5 that led to 17 points. Tonight, already 10 that have led to 15. And you see the plus-minus, plus 20 points, plus 12 for the Lakers in points, plus 8 rebounds. But look at points off turnovers and points from 3. So that is what's kept the Phoenix Suns into the game.
Here's Lamar Odom. And Nash was going to go after him, and then Odom finds a clear path inside. Thomas grabs the missed shot. 63% shooting for the Lakers. 60% shooting for the Phoenix Suns. That's a foul on Tim Thomas, trying to set a screen on Smush Parker.
But see, that Steve Nash caused that foul. When guards are getting ready to receive a screen, if the big man is running all the way across the floor, you got to wait for him to get stopped. And see, Steve goes too soon, and he causes Tim Thomas to pick up that foul. We saw it earlier with Kobe Bryant with one of the Lakers. You've got to wait for the screen to get there before you can go.
Good point. Knocked away by Sean Marion. He'll have a clear jump in here to Odom, who is not going to risk getting a foul. A nice transition points, and Marion now, in his 19 minutes, has scored 7 points. The leading scorer, Barbosa, with 11 for the game. 10 by Brown, leading the Lakers.
And 17 of the Suns' points, of the 49 points, are off careless Laker plays, turnovers.
11 turnovers for the Lakers, 6 in this quarter. Here's Devin George inside the lane.
They're coming right back at you, though. They're going to push the ball, makes misses. They got to keep the tempo of this game up. They cannot win in a half-court game.
Doug, that tempo moves it, and that defense can't get set if it's moving back and forth like that.
And then what you do is you drive it, you're in the middle. There's a walk on Diaz. He shuffled his feet. Kwame Brown was so far off of him, you didn't even need to do that. I mean, he was 10 feet away from him. Just put the ball on the floor and make your move. You don't need to shuffle your feet out there.
Bench points are about the same in this game. That has not been a factor as of yet. Kobe.
You'll live with that. You know, keep him off the foul line, make him shoot jump shots. Don't let him penetrate your defense and pass off for dunks.
Bryant, an efficient game of 5 of 7 from the field. And the move inside looked like Smush Parker again was tagged, and he is for his 3rd personal foul.
That's why you want to get in the penalty if you are Phoenix. You want to shoot free throws. Steve Nash is an 88% free throw shooter in the playoffs. He was the #1 free throw shooter in the NBA during the regular season at over 90%.
We've only had 8 back-to-back MVPs, and of course the reports of last week said that Nash would be a repeat winner this year of the MVP. Log on to TNT Overtime Playoffs 06 on NBA.com or AOL.com/NBA and watch Doug Collins, who gives you insight into this series and all the series. Also Kenny, Charles, and EJ. It's at NBA.com or AOL.com/NBA.
Well, Smush Parker having a seat over there by Brian Shaw, who's with the Phil Jackson for a long time, just trying to get him calmed down. Smush Parker been a little bit of a funk here, and they need to get him going again, especially if they advance. He's going to have to play well.
So Vujacic is in. Brown with the elbow and a shove, and that is a foul on Kwame Brown. He picks up his 3rd personal foul for the LA Lakers.
And another turnover.
Yep, another one.
The Lakers, how about the Lakers are shooting 66%. That's Kwame Brown's 3rd foul. He's going to have to sit. He got in foul trouble the other night as well. When you're playing well, you want to stay out on the floor. And this guy, Mr. Energy, Rony Turioff, he came in the other night, had in 9 minutes, had 8 points.
So LA has 3 starters with 3 fouls apiece. It's Thomas for 3. Kobe Bryant with the rebound. He now has 4 with his 11 points. Kobe against Marion. Screen by Odom. And into Odom. And a foul. Sean Marion picks it up. Again, that's a second on Sean Marion. He is guarding Kobe, and they've left Barbosa off. And Mike D'Antoni must see something there in terms of flow and just defensive pressure on Kobe he likes.
Well, I think he's just trying to give Kobe different looks. So, you know, great offensive players love to see the same thing over and over again because they know exactly what the defense is trying to do. So that's a tough shot. And Marion at 6'7" can bother that shot.
Now, you mentioned that Marion might be on Kobe even before the game started.
Well, you knew it was going to happen because Barbosa was going to have to sit down. He's the only guy on the team that has a chance to even stay with Kobe. He does have the same kind of size and quickness, but normally doesn't play a guy who handles the ball as much as Kobe.
Steve Nash, and Turioff grabs the loose ball.
Steve Nash upset. He had a point-blank left-handed layup that he missed.
Now Thomas is out on Bryant.
It's going to be the 3rd foul on Sean Marion. That is a big, big foul.
And James Jones will probably take his place as Marion will go to the Phoenix bench with 3 personal fouls. We knew it would be called tight. It has been physical and high scoring. The Phoenix Suns led the NBA in scoring this past season, leading now 51-48 on TNT. Let's check out tonight's Wendy's making the right decision play of the game. Kobe Bryant, who was down there and picked up by Sean Marion, has led the Lakers in assists with 6 a game in these playoffs. He's already got 3 tonight, Doug.
Well, the read on that is when you saw James Jones slide up and out of the corner, the guy he was playing, when that ball goes in the post, you're taught to cut baseline. And Kobe Bryant, an excellent passer out of there. He's played out of that post area for Phil Jackson with all the years with Shaq. He would slide down there in the post a lot when Shaq went to the bench. Michael Jordan loved to play that spot in the triangle. Both of them great passers. And Kevin, right now, closing out this half is going to be so vital for the Phoenix Suns. 25-8 run for the Lakers to end first quarter. That cannot happen here now tonight here in the second.
Turioff with the offensive rebound on the Kobe Bryant miss and a subsequent Phoenix Suns foul. Looks like Tim Thomas. Nope. Boris Diaw picked it up for the Phoenix Suns. Diaw picks up his 2nd. Sean Marion is already on the Phoenix bench with 3. And here comes Brian Grant. He will check in. He hasn't seen much time in this series at all. Let's check in with Ernie Johnson, who is standing by at our TNT Arena.
Thank you, Kevin. It is a Southwest Airlines game break. The T-Mobile halftime report comes your way in just a couple of minutes. Charles and Kenny are here with their thoughts on the first half. And also, we'll have the highlights of the Eastern Conference clinchers tonight for the Miami Heat and the New Jersey Nets, who will meet in the next round. That's all coming up on the T-Mobile halftime report. Back to you, Kevin and Doug.
EJ, thank you very much. Brian Grant's only played 2 minutes in these playoffs. Here you see Thomas, who is on the bench. He is the one that picked up the foul, and as you can see, it's his third.
Well, now you've got Tim Thomas with 3 and Sean Marion with 3. There's 2:51 to go here in this half. This is where Steve Nash is going to have to lead this team and not let the Lakers go on a run as they did at the end of the first quarter. Phoenix is in good position right now.
Nash has already had his rest, which is about 4 minutes long earlier in this quarter. He may not get any rest in the second half. It's Boris Diaw across the lane.
They need him to come to life. He's been very quiet here in this first half. He has 8 points, only 1 rebound.
Now Barbosa is back on Kobe Bryant with Marion on the bench. And here is a 3, and Lamar Odom trains it from outside. The Los Angeles Lakers are 3 of 6 shooting threes. The Phoenix Suns are 5 of 10.
Remember, the Lakers got off to a real slow start from behind the three-point line.
That's a pass by Diaw inside for Steve Nash, and that's a foul. Looked like Vujacic is the one who picked it up. Lakers, Doug, start the 5. All are in double figures as starters in this series. 4 of those 5 starters are in double figures tonight already.
And Smush Parker has not scored. Remember, I told you he's sort of wavering a little bit right now. He had that tremendous finish in Game 4 where he hit the big 3 when they were down 5, got the steal against Steve Nash to get that thing into overtime. And they need him out there, and you can see what he's done in the last 2 games of the series. They've been 3 of 19 tonight, 0 of 2. And they're going to need him. If they continue to move on, he's going to have to play well.
Doug, in this series also been focusing on second quarters, where the Suns have been staggering in second quarters, but tonight sticking right with the LA Lakers.
Well, in Game 5 the other night, they had 29, but Mike D'Antoni played the starters most of that time, did not go to the bench because of the struggles. Tonight, he's seen a lot of the starters out there. He knows they cannot have a bad quarter. And this is what they've done in the first 4 games. You see what the numbers are. A lot of that was with the bench, only scoring 2. Game 5, bench scored 14. A lot of that was Tim Thomas. They had a nice quarter, and that really helped them. Remember, they went on an 11-0 run at the end of that quarter. Boris Diaw made 9 free throws to end that second period.
Brian Grant picked up his first personal foul of the game, and this is Kobe Bryant at the free throw line for the first time tonight. Kobe won the scoring title in the NBA this season. 7th greatest scoring season in NBA history, and his 35 points a game are the most going back to the 87-88 season of Michael Jordan.
He was a well-coached player that year.
Yes, he was. A guy named Paul Douglas Collins.
I think he could have coached if Red. I think he didn't know Red Klotz was coaching him.
The Washington Generals.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Guy who never won a game in his career. I think Michael would have still got 38.
Well, Odom picks up a foul. That is number 2 on him. I think he appreciated the Olympian and the 4-time All-Star and a guy who had played in some NBA Finals, coaching in that stage of his career. Here's Boris Diaw at the line. He played in some European Championship games, Doug, this past summer, and he points to that experience, the rough and tumble life of European basketball, as something that he thought was great as he was christening the start in Phoenix after being traded by the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, he's just now growing up as a player. You know, when he was in Atlanta, they tried to play him on the perimeter. You know, they thought he could be a big point guard, and now you can see with his body and his size, he's playing that 4-5 position, and he has a mismatch size and quickness-wise almost every night there.
Lakers have been dominant in the paint. Here's Odom trying to build upon that success, and he does. The Lakers are plus 14 points in the paint. And Phil Jackson made no bones about it. Beginning before the first game, he said, we are going inside. Here's a hard foul, Turioff on Brian Grant. And now this has been a very physical series. Game 2, Nash shoving Vujacic. In Game 3, Thomas got a hard foul by Luke Walton. Here's a hard shove here by Turioff. Kwame Brown knocked down Diaw to the ground. Then Tuesday we saw Bell grabbing Kobe around the neck and throwing him down and ultimately ejected and suspended.
Well, Brian Grant is a guy they signed in the offseason hoping that he could give them some minutes this year. He's had all kinds of knee problems. He's worked very, very hard to get back out on the floor. And a lot of people wonder why he might not be playing a little bit more in this series. Well, the way the Suns play, and they like to space the floor and shoot the ball, it's very difficult for him because they really don't guard him out on the floor, and you lose a lot of that spacing and ability to drive the ball to the basket. But they might have to buy some minutes here with him tonight as he misses both free throws.
Bryant had knee surgery in December, missed a big chunk of the game. He played for the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, last year, 69 games, coming over in the Shaq trade with the Miami Heat. Kobe Bryant over Barbosa. You said the Suns had to be very careful at the last couple minutes of this half. And it looks like the Lakers are beginning to exploit Barbosa. Screen by Grant, a wide open three by Leandro from Brazil. The Suns began, Doug, shooting threes in a 5-of-5 clip, but they have missed their last 6. No fouls to give either way. Kobe with the double, the shot clock at 6. Can he crawl out of this? It's picked off by Barbosa. Vujacic tried to defend. He checked it by Kobe Bryant. And a foul.
Now Kobe's very upset. He thought he had that locked in the whole way. I tell you, you got to give Kobe Bryant a lot of props here. He threw the ball away. Look at him. He's got it timed up. And they said he hit him with his body before the shot was blocked. Let's see if the contact comes first. There is the foul on the body. He did get it clean up top. Now, had that ball been out of his hands, a lot of time they'll let you make contact after the ball, but the ball had not yet been released there.
Barbosa hits, but how impressive for him to try to make amends after throwing it away at one end and doing the defense at the other end.
I tell you, guys who have a nose for that ball, Kevin, they throw it away. They're going to track that thing down.
High scoring first half. Both teams have been shooting great. 57% for the Suns and 65% for the Los Angeles Lakers. There is a difference of 3 seconds. The game clock and shot clock winding down the first half. And the Lakers have taken a timeout. And Phil Jackson is over there talking to Joe DeRosa. Along with Kobe, pleading their case.
Well, Kobe jumps in the air, gets hung, and you see Barbosa play that passing lane. The speed of Barbosa, there's no question that Kobe blocked that shot up top. It looked to me like he bumped him with the body a little bit before Barbosa had released the shot. Had that ball been in the air, then the contact afterwards is considered incidental.
Doug, the Suns went into the penalty at the 7:07 mark of the second quarter. They've gone 8 of 12 at the free throw line since that time.
Just to put their free throw shooting in perspective, Kevin, they set a record this year for fewest free throw attempts a game, 18. In the series, they're shooting over 22 a game. Both games that they have won, the difference has been at the free throw line. In game 1, they made 32 of 35. And in game 5, they were 22 of 26, so they were +4 in game 5. And in game 1, they were +11. Those are the games that they've won, and they won at the free throw line uncharacteristically. Tonight, they were +7 because they're a team that normally doesn't shoot many free throws.
They're good when they shoot them, but they don't foul that many times either, so that's to keep the pace going.
Remember now, Vujacic has been the #1 three-point shooter in the playoffs of 8 of 12. He's missed one tonight, but don't fall asleep on him. He'll knock the shot down.
3-second difference, game clock and shot clock winding down the first half, and Kobe Bryant. It's a charge, wipe it away.
That's 2 quick fouls on Kobe now, an offensive foul and that foul. So now it also gives you 6.5 seconds. See if Brian Grant steps up. No question, he was outside the restricted area.
Here's Barbosa. He has time, but he takes the early shot, and it crawls in. Now 3 seconds remaining. And here is Vujicic as Nash falls. Oh, almost went in. Phoenix Suns dodged a bullet, and they lead by 3 at halftime. What a furious first half. And we thought a wide-open style with Bell out would really help the Suns tonight.
Well, can they score 120? Because they're probably going to have to do that. They're going to have another 60-point half. But right now, Phil Jackson's got to go back and talk about the turnovers that led to easy baskets, the fouls that put them on the free throw line, and the Suns have to be very happy right now to be up 3.
The player taking the place of the suspended Raja Bell is Leandro Barbosa, bleeding and all. 15 points in 19 minutes. Let's now send it over to David Aldridge.
Leandro, how's your lip, my friend?
It's hurt. It's hurt, but we need you in this game, and we're here for that. We're going to try to do the best we can. Let's play hard.
You guys came out great shooting threes in the first half and then tailed off a little bit, but you were able to keep the tempo, I think, where you want it.
Right. We're doing well at the shots outside the court, and it's what coach is asking for us. And we play our game, fast break, and this is what we want.
How do you think you've done with Kobe so far?
I'm trying to do the best I can. He's really tough. He's strong. I'm not so strong like Raja is, but I'm trying to do the best I can, and I'm going to do the best I can.
Leandro, thanks very much. The Suns up at the half. Let's send it back to our Atlanta studios and Ernie Johnson. EJ?
All right, thank you, DA. Our TNT playoff nightcap. Phoenix and the Lakers with LA leading 3-2, but Phoenix with their highest scoring half of this series, 60 points, and they lead at 60-57. T-Mobile halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. And the old Suns showed up there in the first half of this game. They were hitting 3-pointers out of the gate, built up a 10-point lead, and getting out into the open floor. Sean Marion doesn't have a huge statistical first half, but this is more of the Sean Marion you're used to seeing, and the Matrix delivers there. But this has been a wild first half. I mean, they built that 10-point lead. The Lakers came right back at them, but it's a 3-point Phoenix lead at the break. Before we get to your pictures, let me get your impressions of what you thought would be a closeout game for the Lakers, and probably still do think that, but what is Phoenix?
Well, I said, you asked me if I thought the Suns could win. I said no, unless they get their fast break going. But what you saw in this game was exactly what you've seen the entire series. When they're in a half-court set, they get hammered. When they're running and shooting threes, so it doesn't matter who the Suns have in the game. They play one way. They want to run the gun, shoot threes. And if the Lakers do not slow this game down, they're going to lose. But you see, anytime they slow it down and get in a half-court set, they're getting hammered. So, but I said, if the Suns can keep the momentum they built in the last game, which they did coming out, they are dangerous because they play one style. They're going to run a gun. They're going to shoot threes. Steve Nash is going to get the ball to the right guys. But the Lakers, they better slow this game down and make it a half-court game.
Leandro Barbosa, 15 points. Steve Nash, 13 to lead the Phoenix Suns attack. How about the Lakers' style in this Game 6?
Well, it's funny that y'all said, you know, when the Phoenix Suns play slow down, they get hammered. And conversely is when the Lakers play up-tempo, they get hammered, and they're not accustomed to that style. They're not good at it, and even when they have a great opportunity, here you get a steal and you think it's a 2-on-1, maybe even a 3-on-1 if you hustle, they still get an offensive foul because they're not used to playing at what I say up a fast tempo or even a fast pace. But you slow it down and you get the shot you want, and on 15 seconds on the shot clock, they can get good. You want a 3? Okay, wait, let's run a pick and roll. Let's get into the middle of the lane. We'll still get the shot we want. 13 seconds on the shot clock. If they're patient, use the shot clock, they get those same type of shots that you almost get in a fast break, but the Lakers aren't used to playing that. I guess if we were using records, remember the records good instead of CDs?
Yeah.
The 45 and the 33?
Right.
Lakers like a 33 place. That's a slow jam.
Yeah. I even remember the 78s.
No, I don't remember that.
Kobe Bryant, 14 points on 6.
But he didn't play very well. He started forcing, had some really key turnovers. And if you turn the ball over against the Suns, all you do is feed their fast break.
Not exactly sure what's going to happen in this game in the second half. It's going to be a doozy, but we do know this. You're going to see Kobe Bryant and the Lakers on Saturday here on TNT. It's either going to be the Lakers and Phoenix playing Game 7 or the Lakers and Clippers in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals.
Kenneth said that Kobe should grow an afro.
Whoa.
And I said, Kobe's forehead is getting in Ernie territory.
No, it's not even close. This is a good 7 or 8 head I got going.
I'm serious. You and him will have receded hairlines. No afro days are over, baby.
Highlights coming up.
I like the fro days. When he had the fro, those days are over.
Welcome to the T-Mobile Halftime Report. T-Mobile, official wireless services partner of the NBA.
Back here on the T-Mobile Halftime Report, Miami, Dwayne Wade and company trying to clinch against Chicago tonight at United Center.
You know, the last couple games, Shaq has been fantastic. And I thought what Alonzo Mourning said is it is Shaquille O'Neal's team.
And he said he needs to give us 25 and 15 or 20 and 15, 20 and 10. He went 30 and 20 tonight. Before the half or right at the half, Scott Skiles had words with Antoine Walker.
He might can beat Antoine Walker. Please.
Uh-oh, Ben Gordon. Took his time, and there was Dwayne Wade making him pay. Look at that spin move by Shaq.
You know, Shaquille, you know, people think he's just big and strong, and he is. But that guy, to be that big and strong and athletic is just scary.
Chicago trying to stay in this thing. Andres Nocioni.
Hey, Nocioni, to Shaquille O'Neal, the last couple games has been the best player in this series. And the Bulls got a bright future. But we don't live in the future, Kenny.
We live in the present.
We live in the dunk fest and we live in the fishing boats.
113 to 96. Miami is through to the conference semifinals. There are the numbers for O'Neal. 30 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists. So who will Miami play in the next round, you ask? Well, that could be determined.
Well, look at the bottom of the page.
The Nets and the Indiana Pacers played tonight at
Pace to win is what we're wishing, because if they lose, they'll be going fishing. I like that.
Early on.
No, Kenny, we're trying to go 3 for 3 tonight. If the Suns, if the Lakers can hold on, we said there's going to be 2 closeouts and 1 to go.
The Lakers can hold on to their deficit?
No, the Lakers can hold on to win this thing. I got you, Ernie. Ernie.
Jason Kidd.
Ernie, keep bothering me.
Look at Anthony Johnson, Jason's old backup.
It's too early for me to curse. I was going to curse this year.
You know, you don't want to do that. It wasn't at a 40-point night.
It wasn't a bad curse.
Career night for Anthony Johnson.
Yep, and he's on vacation though.
Vince
that was
Carter.
A big play, giving up a layup down within 2, but then they came back because Anthony Johnson said, you know what, it's not over yet. Shoots a long 3, puts it down to 2, and then they still had a chance on it. You know, Richard Jefferson stepped up big and was fantastic the last couple games.
Johnson,
and O'Neal gets it blocked.
Richard Jefferson.
I tell you what, that's going to be a very interesting series, New Jersey and Miami.
So the Nets advance to play the Heat. 96-90 is the final, and Anthony Johnson with those 40 points. And when we talk about a career high, I mean that is a career high. I mean his entire life high.
Never
there he
had
is.
40? Wow.
You know, I've never shot this much in my life. I've never scored this much in my life. I've never scored over 30 in any type of organized game because I don't care to shoot the ball that much. But tonight, I just had it going, and I just took it upon myself to try to be as aggressive as possible, try to do it by myself. Not necessarily do it by myself, but just kind of lead us a little bit. And it worked out for me individually, but as a team, we're going home, and our summer started. I guess we're going fishing.
Yes, you are. You definitely are. Wait till after the show, after this game, I got something for you, Big A.
Fishing boat ready to go.
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, there's artist conception of
Kobe with a throw.
Kobe with a throw.
His half-full days are over, baby.
Game leading by 3 here at halftime over the Los Angeles Lakers. Phil Jackson telling us 30-point quarters will be killers for the Lakers. In this game, 2 consecutive 30-point quarters for Phoenix.
Yeah, he would like to have kept it to 1 a game. Remember game 1 when the Suns had 2 30-point quarters? They won that game. The second quarters have been the bad quarters for the Suns. The last 2 games, that's not been the case tonight. 30 points, they outscored the Lakers by 10. Very positive sign, Kevin.
A lot of good things, a lot of good shooting in this game as well. As we take a look at the Jeep game summary and the shooting, 58 and 63. Let's take a look at some of the other numbers. Points in the paint +10 for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, we talked about the points in the paint differential, but the points off turnovers really is the story. The Suns got off to a great shooting start, hit their first 5 threes, missed their last 6. They got to the free throw line. They won that by 7. But Kevin, points off turnovers. The Lakers have 34 turnovers in their last 6 quarters. Now, Luke Walton got off to a great start. He was 5 of 7 for 10 points. He got down to the paint. Kwame Brown, another terrific start. He had 10 points on 5 of 6. So both of those guys combined for 20, but it was the three-point shooting early. The Suns got off to a quick start. The steals. 21 points off 14 Laker turnovers. The Lakers are shooting 63%, but have turned the ball over 14 times and given up 21 points. I'm sure Phil Jackson, that's one of the things he talked to the team. We've got to take care of the ball, get it in the half court, take our time and pound that ball inside. We're plus 10 points in the paint when we take care of business.
And try to arrest the Suns as they begin quarters.
Yeah, they've done a great job. 20-10 start in the first quarter, 12-4 in the second. So let's see if second half Sean Marion can go to work here again as he has this entire series.
Went up against Kwame Brown. Here is James Jones with the 3. It is short. May have in fact been deflected. Kwame Brown picks it up. He's out there with Smush Parker. Odom with the ball right now. Kobe Bryant and Luke Walton, 5 starters in the second half for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Remember now, Sean Marion picked up his 3rd foul at the end of the half. He has to be very, very careful. And Kobe Bryant's got to settle himself down a little bit, too. For a guy with 3 championship rings, he had 5 turnovers in that first half. Thought he tried to force some action. It's going to be an offensive foul on James Jones as Luke Walton gives him a little bit of the medicine that the Suns have been doing, stepping in to take a charge.
So Kobe's got 16, and that is a game high. Dave, what do you have?
All about the turnovers in the first half, guys. Just not making good decisions with the basketball. But also very upset with how the Lakers handled Leandro Barbosa. The coach is upset that they let Barbosa go left. They know that's what he wants to do, and yet he was able to do that throughout the first half and get some easy baskets, guys.
Here's Barbosa the other way. He's got 15.
Well, David, you're speaking of the turnovers. They turn it over, and when you turn it over against the Suns, that's when they get their 3-point shot. So James Jones steps right into a 3. The Lakers are trying to pass into a crowd out of double teams, and a lot of those passes, the vision is being blurred by the guy trying to catch the basketball, and that's why they're having so many errors.
Here's Kobe Bryant. Phoenix is plus 9 points above the 3-point arc tonight.
Smush Parker once again misses. He's now, 0 for 3 for the night?
He was 2 of 12 a couple afternoons ago, and that was in that overtime win by the Lakers here on Sunday.
3 of his last 22 now, 2 of 10 from 3.
Barbosa guarding Bryant.
That's a tough shot when you pump fake twice. Great job by Barbosa to make Kobe take a tough shot.
Steve Nash. Looking like a pinball. Kwame Brown looks like he may have picked up the foul. He did. And Doug, that is number 4.
Now the question's going to be, will Phil Jackson stay with Kwame Brown with 4 fouls? What happens here now? See, Nash is smart. He sees Kwame backpedaling, and he just jumps into him. And that's what you do. You create the foul. Looks like Phil Jackson's going to let Kwame Brown stay on the floor, feeling that he needs him out there in this situation to try to get something going in the paint.
Here's Nash at the free throw line. He came in the '96 draft to the Phoenix Suns. He was drafted 2 picks after Kobe Bryant. He was taken by Charlotte at number 13.
But how about if they redrafted that draft? Do you think that Kobe Bryant would go 13th?
Vlade Divac was sent from the Lakers to the then Charlotte Hornets, and Kobe Bryant came here.
And they also signed Shaq as a free agent, so Jerry West really cleaned up in that summer.
To the tune of 3 championships.
Yeah, I think so.
Dio is on Brown. A quick double by Marion. Help defense tonight has been more apparent by the Phoenix Suns. Odom for 3. Rebound by James Jones.
That's exactly what the Suns want them to do. Shoot long jump shots, gives them a chance to defensive rebound, and then run.
Sean Marion. He's playing with 3 fouls tonight, but has been a force. In the first half, he had 7. He's got 9 for the game now and 3 rebounds in 24 minutes.
Suns playing a very purposeful game right now.
Their style of game.
Absolutely. And you see all the shots are taken. Now, that's a tough shot. But the Lakers are getting nothing inside right now. I don't think the Lakers will beat them with jump shots. I think they're going to have to beat them big in the paint.
Kobe's got 4 assists. He's been averaging 6 a game in this series with the Phoenix Suns. Shot clock is down to 9 for Nash. Mismatch on Brown. He comes out to watch Steve, and the shot clock is down to 3. That was a bad possession.
Good Laker defense, so they did a nice job of walling in Steve Nash. Kwame Brown played that screen roll very nicely. And Boris Diaw right now is not confident in shooting that basketball. He's a little hesitant. He had 4 turnovers in that first half and only 4 assists. So Suns had 7 turnovers. Boris Diaw had 4 of them.
Odom to Bryant. And then Luke Walton will launch a 3. And Phoenix is now minus 10 in rebounding tonight. Nash. Diaw left open. Walton so concerned about Nash down low.
That's the shot right there. And, you know, great point. Steve Nash is not leaving his feet tonight on those passes. Early in the series, we saw him get in the air and get hung up. Now he's keeping those feet on the ground, finding people, and Phoenix back up to an 8-point lead, and they have a 9-4 here start this quarter. It's exactly what they've done in the first 2 periods, get off to great starts.
Led by 10, up now by 8. Los Angeles Lakers were up 3 games to 1, and when that happens in a series, 96% of the time, that team wins. But there have been 7 teams that have come back from 3-1 deficits, most recently in 03. When Detroit got by Orlando, in 97 Miami over the Knicks, in 95 Houston over Phoenix. 7 teams have come back 2 times in the Western Conference. Both times Phoenix was the victim.
Well, right now the Lakers have to get themselves together. They have turned the ball over. Suns have 18 points, they're plus 18 points off turnovers. The Lakers right now a little flat. They're going to have to pick it up.
Neither team made a change coming out of that break. The shot clock is at 14. Doug, Phoenix Suns, the advantage at the 3-point line, the free throw line, and converting Laker mistakes into points.
They're plus 36 in those 3 areas. And right now the Lakers are not going into the paint. They're shooting jump shots. And they're going to have to find a way to get that ball inside. Sean Marion has got to stay away from his 4th foul if you're Phoenix.
Kobe's got 18, now 20. And he is 9 of 14.
You see, he's just too big for Barbosa, and Barbosa's doing the smart thing. Back off of him, try to make him the jump shooter, keep him off that foul line, keep yourself out of foul trouble.
This is Barbosa and Kobe's on him. Sean Marion for 3. Odom has the rebound. Tonight, Odom has collected 5 rebounds with 13 points. 2 15-point scores for the Phoenix Suns tonight, Nash and Barbosa. That is a shove. And Diaw picks up foul number 2. Lakers are down by 6. All 6 Laker points in this 3rd quarter have been scored by Kobe Bryant.
Well, he's going to have to stabilize him. He's in that favorite area. This is now called a pinch post, and he's got that shot down to a science.
They may have to move Marion back on him. More size, more bulk.
You know, Tim Thomas is going to come into the game. If that's the case, they'll change the matchups.
Steve Nash, little defense offered by Kwame Brown.
Well, see, he's got to give him room because he doesn't want him to go all the way around him, and Nash is smart enough to know you just get to your area, pull up and shoot the basketball.
Kwame's playing with 4 fouls. Now the quick double, they come with Jones. That's a charge on Smush Parker. Wipe it away. Barbosa took it. And that is the Los Angeles Lakers' 6th offensive foul of the game.
You can see what they're doing. They're funneling baseline and see if he gets outside the restricted area. Great job by James Jones. He ran all the way across the floor. How about now? That's 16 turnovers now for the Lakers.
Tim Thomas comes in for James Jones. And then Rajah Bell suspended for horse collaring Kobe on Tuesday. Nash and a 3 by Sean Marion. Remember, his second halves have been his best halves of this series.
Remember I talked about that little fan pass on the baseline? That's what teams work on now. Driving baseline, sliding a guy down to the corner so you have that 3-point shooter that's right in your vision.
Phoenix is 7 of 14 shooting threes. There's an elbow. It's on Barbosa, who is going up against the taller, bulkier Walton.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Watch Nash. As he goes baseline, you want to have a shooter slide down. That's the easiest pass to make. He slides down in that area. Coaches work on this every day in practice, sliding that guy down to the corner. It's also the shortest three-pointer on the floor.
Nash led the NBA in assists again this season. Kobe for three. But Bryant is on some kind of streak right now. Just 25 points. Here's Barbosa at the other end. Kobe 25 in 29 minutes.
Kevin, he's just trying to keep his team in the game right now. He's trying to be that stabilizer.
Barbosa got hung up. It's a 2-on-1. Parker and Kobe Bryant by Diaw. And a foul on Boris Diaw.
When you get in the air to make passes, you get yourself in trouble. Kobe Bryant steps up. Sean Marion gets a hand up, and you'll live with that. You got a contested three. You got him on the perimeter, trying to keep him out of the paint, but then Barbosa comes down, turns the ball over. Now, what I like about this is that Diaw fouled Parker before he could get the ball back to Kobe. Parker struggling a little bit. Make him make free throws. Don't let Kobe dunk the ball and get this crowd all excited.
Parker had a couple of 10-day contracts with the Phoenix Suns a year ago. In the middle of the season, he was let go because Mike D'Antoni, the Phoenix coach, felt he didn't handle the ball well enough. He kind of floated around the league, signed this past August by the Lakers, and he has really been a nice force, although the last couple games his shot has been astray.
Well, you can just see he's just not himself right now. His body language is not great. This is where you got to pick it up defensively. You got to get up with Steve Nash. You got to make him work. You got to turn him, make him use that clock.
Marion launching another three. And finally claimed by Kobe Bryant. At one time in this quarter, it scored 13 consecutive points, but Kobe throws it away right there.
And not a good decision by Kobe. You're down 4. That's Kobe's 6th turnover of the game, because if Lamar Odom would have caught that basketball, really there was no advantage to that play. That was a high-risk, little reward pass.
Yeah. 17 Laker turnovers. Nice move by Nash, a screen by Diaw. The dish to Thomas. Marion couldn't slam it. Walton saves it. And here come the Lakers.
Kwame Brown has not had a touch in the post. He got off to a great start. He's gotten in foul trouble. They need to get him back in the game as well. When he scores, it excites him.
He's 5 of 6. Kobe another 3. Rebound by Tim Thomas. Lakers tonight 4 of 12 above the arc. Nash.
I think he's done a few ball handling drills in his lifetime.
I'm telling you, he is so smooth.
He knows he's got Kwame on him in the switch. He just takes his time, pulls up and shoots the shot.
Was he your MVP?
Yeah, I voted for him. I sure did. The reason I did is because I thought that the Suns really overachieved with all the injuries they had. There's Kwame. That's what you got to do. You got to give him a touchdown there. He'll pick up his defense.
That is Brown's first field goal since the final minute of the first quarter. And sashaying in here is Leandro Barbosa. And the foul goes on Walton for a 4th time.
Now, David Aldridge gave his report at halftime, and he said they're very upset that they're allowing Barbosa to go to his strong hand, which is his left, push him to his right. Well, where does he get beat on that play? On the baseline, going to his left. So scouting reports become so important in the playoffs. You've got to chase players off their strengths.
Barbosa. Drafted by San Antonio, and his rights were traded to the Phoenix Suns. Barbosa's got 18 points and is a career playoff high.
I think Phoenix is going to need a 10-point lead in this game with 6 minutes to go to be able to hold on to this game.
Let's see if you're right. Shot clock down to 7. Diaw picks up another foul. 4 on Diao.
See, now he has 4. Sean Marion has 3. We talked to Mike D'Antoni before the game. He said, Doug, the only thing I'm really concerned about is foul trouble. Now Diao's got to sit down. Hopefully they can buy 3 minutes and 47 seconds with him. You got James Jones, Tim Thomas, and Sean Marion as your front line against Kwame Brown and Odom. One of the things I think the Lakers have done in this quarter, I think they've played into the Suns' hand because they've been impatient. Kevin, they have not taken their time and gotten the ball inside.
NBA playoffs continue Saturday on TNT. Either the Lakers and Phoenix Game 7 or the Lakers-Clippers Game 1. Regardless, Doug and I will be on the West Coast and handle those for you. You know, Phoenix lures a lot of teams into playing their style. They've done it all season long.
That's why you have to have great discipline. You have to pass up an easy jump shot from 16 or 17 feet early in the clock, move the ball and throw it in the post. And the Lakers are quick shooting from the perimeter.
Nash. Tim Thomas. And Odom collects the rebound. His 5th with 6 assists and 14 points. Kobe against Barbosa. And Thomas, who draws the foul. That came down hard.
That's a good foul, though. You don't want to get anybody a layup. You want him to take the tough foul. Now that's 4 fouls now on Tim Thomas. So Suns are starting to get themselves in trouble. But why are they? Is because the Lakers are going to the basket now, not shooting free throws. The Suns want you to shoot jump shots.
The Lakers have hit 61% of their shots have gone in tonight. Kobe from the line, 2 of 3. The Lakers have been outscored at the free throw line tonight by 6, and they've taken 6 less attempts.
Again, we go back to the Suns now. Amari Stoudemire last year with him, they shot 25 free throws a game. This year without him, they shot 18. So one of the big things he did, and we see Amari there, is I'm sure he's licking his lips about wishing he could get out there and play right now, but that's not the case. But he was able to get teams in foul trouble.
Burying a screen on Kobe, and Barbosa gets it off to Thomas. That was a great screen up top, which freed Barbosa.
See, Barbosa, that's what they want him to do, drive. The last time he jumped in the air, Mike D'Antoni said, stay on the floor and penetrate.
13 for Kobe in this quarter.
That's what they want to do, make him shoot jump shots.
Bryant scoops it off to Odom, who spoon feeds Brown. Out of bounds and off of Phoenix. With 2:42 to play here in the third.
See, Kwame Brown cannot catch that pass. It's too hard in a short area. The area is too close. There's no spacing. And you almost just put your hands up to try to protect yourself. The spacing on the floor is not good. That's why there's a lot of turnover.
For tonight's In the City, presented by Dodge, our all-new 2007 Caliber is cruising through the streets of Los Angeles. It brought Doug and I, along with David Aldridge, to the Staples Center down Rodeo Drive. And I don't know why we went there. I guess Doug wanted to take a look at the windows. But you like the ride, and there we are. Parked and ready to go, and what a game we've seen. High scoring and explosive.
Well, I like the ride, and it's going to be a great finish here. Yeah. But, Kevin, just to reiterate my point about points in the paint, okay? In the first half, the Lakers had 32 points in the paint. In this quarter, they have 4. So they're shooting jump shots. See this foul trouble here? The Suns cannot win a battle of attrition. So Phil Jackson, I'm sure, is telling his guys, look, these guys are in foul trouble. They cannot win the game if we keep driving that ball at them. The Suns are saying keep them shooting jump shots and keep running.
2.5 to play here in the third. Vujicic is in, George, Cook, and Kobe. Cook with another George with a 3.
So he shot the ball well in this series.
He has.
From distance, he's not shot it very well from 2, but that's his 8th 3 in this series.
Vujicic is on Nash. Odom now stands in front. How Nash got that inside to Marion, I do not know, but Sean Marion converts. Nash has his 9th assist, and Sean Marion has scored 14. Points off turnovers, the Lakers plus 19. A minus 19 in that category. The Suns have cashed in on Laker miscues tonight.
Marion got to be very careful here playing Kobe to stay away from the foul.
Kobe Bryant.
He's got to rotate on that baseline. Slow getting there.
Denzel Washington among the many stars inside the Staples Center tonight. A turnover by the Phoenix Suns. That is their 12th of the game. That's a three. Devin George.
This is what Devin George did in Game 4. He hit 3 big threes in that quarter to help the Lakers come back from an 8-point deficit, send that game to overtime. That's how quickly they can strike. Devin George now was a big part of those championship teams. Remember, he and Rick Fox used to play that small forward position. He's got a lot of experience, has struggled this season, but not tonight.
That ties the game for the 8th time tonight. Bryant, moments ago, he now has a game-high 29. And then the three by Devin George, one of 6 drained by the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. The bench scoring, Doug, for the Lakers, slightly ahead of the Phoenix Suns tonight.
Well, Devin George is 3 of 4 from the three-point line on tonight. On the series coming in, he was 6 of 14 and only 2 of 8 from two-pointers. So he is spreading the floor and shooting the ball. Be very interesting here. Ending quarters. Remember, it was the Lakers in the first quarter tonight. It was the Suns doing a nice job fighting them off in the second quarter. Lakers making a run here, trying to take the lead. Terrell Owens there taking a look. He's enjoying the sights and scenes here tonight. He's got his Kobe Bryant jersey on.
18-9 run by the Los Angeles Lakers, who have come back to tie it at 83. Vujacic is watching Nash. A screen by Thomas and a 3 by Steve. And that is a shove, and out of bounds it goes. No foul, just out of bounds off the Phoenix Suns. You know, we talked about normally at this time of the game, Nash would take a breather. Tonight he can't do that. His breather was taken in the second quarter.
Yeah, and last time he did that here, he locked up in the fourth quarter and was really stiff. So he's going to have to play the whole way tonight.
Odom against Thomas.
That's the open set. Phil Jackson calls that open. That was a Pippen set in Chicago. Here it's Lamar Odom.
7-0 Laker run. Vujacic on Nash. Jones is open. Odom was sucked in by Nash's move.
How do you find him? But see, you know the guy is there because you practice it. Again, that's why you practice, because you'd have to know when you get caught where your teammates are. An 85 all tie here, and now 5 Suns are in double figures after Jones knocked in that shot.
And 6 total with Thomas off the bench with 11. Here's Odom. He's got 16. Marion is on him. Vujacic looked like he may have even traveled. A 3 by Devin George and a rebound inside by Tim Thomas of the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers do have a foul to give with maybe a 1/10 of a second between the game clock and the shot clock.
Boy, very close to an 8-second violation. Vujacic is really trying to harass Steve Nash. Got those long arms. He's 6'7". There's the foul. Nash just baited him into that one.
Lakers had a foul to give.
You watch this now, this degree of difficulty. Switches hands, throws it right down the sideline. He knows exactly where his teammate is. Remember, he made a left-hand hook pass to Sean Marion earlier in the quarter, who hit a 3.
Vujacic just picked up his 3rd personal foul for the Los Angeles Lakers. Time winding down in the 3rd. Nash fouled, count it.
He is some player. He is some basketball player. This guy, a lot of guys would have been crushed by what happened at the end of Game 4. He had those 2 turnovers after having 11 assists, only 2 turnovers, gets in the lane, left-handed finish. After that game, he made absolutely no excuses, blamed himself, didn't blame the referees, stepped up and said, you know what, I'll try to be better next game. You think you'd like to play with this guy on your team?
Oh, 6 of 6 Nash from the line. His dad was a pro soccer player in Johannesburg. His brother is a pro soccer player in Canada. Steve, who played a lot of soccer growing up, of course, the MVP, the reigning MVP in the NBA, and maybe winging it again this year. Here's Odom at the buzzer. Well, the Suns are facing elimination. 3-point play by Steve Nash has given them a slim 3-point lead going to the 4th quarter. It has been loud inside the Staples Center all night long. A quarter to go. Lakers trying to chew inside, and if they win, they advance. Phoenix trying to stay alive. The Los Angeles Lakers close that third quarter on a 20-14 run. Lakers led by 7 at the end of one. Phoenix led by 3 at halftime. And the Suns up by 3 here going to the fourth quarter in Los Angeles. Back-to-back MVP winners. Well, let's see. We got a couple in the house. There's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, won it for the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic Johnson, won it, of course, here for LA as well, our TNT cohort. A couple others, too, making the rounds in the NBA during these playoffs. Bill Russell is here. And Steve Nash reportedly has won the MVP this season. He would become, there's Russell and there's Clyde Frazier. If Nash would win, he would become the 9th repeat winner. Back-to-back winner in the history of the NBA, and many people think he's already got it.
I think the last time we did that, the 37 championships among those players. Pretty decorated group.
Doug, the Suns have started each quarter tonight with nice runs. Odom picked up by Marion. Rebound by Jones.
Can Eddie House give them a little bit of a spark here off the bench as Tim Thomas is resting?
We got Diaw in there playing with 4 fouls. Marion, House, and Jones, and Barbosa. Diaw. Shot clock is down to 4 for James Jones. Eddie House, what a screen by Jones on Vujacic, who's out there with Odom and Parker. Kobe and Devin George.
Good defensive possession that time by the Lakers.
Barbosa and Bryant. Doubled by Diaw. Thus Parker is open, as is Vujacic, and that's a whistle, a 3-second inside. How about that?
Well, see, what happened was Smush Parker doesn't have confidence right now to shoot the ball. So by making the extra pass, he got the turnover. He's got to take the shot. His teammates are expecting that.
Parker is 0-3 tonight. He was 1-7 on Tuesday. And over the weekend, Smush Parker was 2 of 12. Those are his last 3 games for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Switch here now. You've got Parker on Marion. He's got to score down there in that situation. He can't be a passer. Got to score.
They doubled him with George. Now Bryant comes over to watch Marion, and George cleans the glass. Kobe is 12 of 19. I give Barbosa credit. He has played him as hard as he can tonight. Marion is on Odom. Lamar Odom has put in 18 points and grabbed 7 rebounds and dished out 6 passes.
Now, Steve Nash is not on the bench right now, Kevin. David Aldridge is trying to find out what's going on with him. I thought we might see him play the rest of the way here.
Or Joe DeRosa had the whistle in his mouth. He was about ready to tee up Kobe Bryant, who was very animated in his complaint on the call. The 3rd foul goes on Kobe.
Big story here with Steve Nash not on the bench. Normally he lays down over there by those towels, gets a little bit of a rest. Last time he did that here, his back locked up. He might be in the locker room just trying to stay warm until he comes back into play.
Odom is on Barbosa. They lob it inside Marion. And Diaw up to the teeth of the Laker defense. Picked up by Odom.
Now Boris Diaw has not had the game they needed from him tonight.
Screen by Odom on Barbosa. A little pick and roll. And a foul. It goes on Leandro Barbosa. He picks up number 3.
Well, you can just see the strength of Kobe Bryant. He got in there and got trapped. A lot of guys would have got that ball knocked loose. And he just had it like in a vice grip. Got the foul before he was able to deliver the pass. Here comes Tim Thomas back into the game for James Jones. Nash is coming back in. Onto the floor.
He's got groin issues, but mainly it's his back. That has been a career-long issue with him. But in particular over the last 2 or 3 years. Kobe gets out of a sandwich. 3-on-1, Marion, Eddie House, the former Pac-10 Player of the Year at Arizona State. And his shot has not been on during these playoffs.
Kobe Bryant has 7 turnovers. He stayed back that time and complained. He's got to be able to get himself down the floor.
Thomas against Bryant. Rebound by Sean Marion.
Well, the Lakers have missed a golden opportunity here to take the lead. The Suns have gone dry.
Phoenix trails Los Angeles and rebounding tonight by 11. Barbosa seals in for 2.
Devin George tried to take the foul, but again, which way did he drive? He drove left.
He has all night long.
Start right, come back left. The scouting report, and He is going to work. He's been terrific tonight. This could be the coming out party in the playoffs for Barbosa.
In a game where he's taken the place of Raja Bell, suspended in Game 5 on Tuesday. It's Odom with Marion there, and Thomas watching and counted for two as Lamar Odom wheels in.
See, he's bigger than Sean Marion, and he's got him by about 20 pounds. What they'd like to do is spin him back. If you watch here, look where his help is coming. He's going left, and see Tim Thomas wants to come over and give help. Odom recognizes it, takes his time. Once again, when the Lakers get it in the paint, they do some work.
Sean Marion picks up his 4th personal foul.
So I don't get it.
What don't you get? Kobe scored 81 points in one game.
Yeah, but not in the playoffs.
Well, you couldn't score 81 points against 5 kindergartners.
Boys or girls?
Catch the new original series Save starting June 12th on TNT.
Back at the Staples Center, where Steve Nash has learned his lesson from Game 4. Remember, when he took that quick break at the start of the fourth quarter, his back locked up. He wasn't able to get loose and missed some threes and had the turnovers. This time, during the break and for the first minute or so of the fourth quarter, he went back to the locker room, did some stretching, some running in place to keep himself loose, and now he's back on the floor, and he will be in the game the rest of the way, I would suspect, guys.
How much you think he's got left in the tank, Doug?
Well, he'll be running on fumes by the end of this game, but this man's a competitor. He knows he's got plenty of time to rest if they lose. He's going to have about 4 months off. But, Kevin, the Lakers now have gone back to their power lineup. They have Luke Walton, Kwame Brown, and Lamar Odom on that front line. Remember, foul problems for the Suns.
Starters out there for Los Angeles, as Doug just said. The only non-starter out there for the Phoenix Suns is Tim Thomas, and he started a good part of the last part of the season. Here's Diaw to Nash. The Lakers have led for only 12 seconds in this half. Diaw and Barbosa having a terrific game, and he puts in the teardrop, and he's got 22 to match the 22 by Steve Nash.
Well, this is all the Suns could hope for from him. He's doing his best job he can on Kobe to try to make him a jump shooter, and he's driving and attacking on the other end.
It's Kobe who's got 29. Smush Parker over Nash. Rebound by Boris Diaw, who claims his second rebound with 11 points. It's Marion, triple teamed, and kicks it out to Barbosa.
It's a very, very big possession for the Suns. They need to get a cushion trying to finish this game.
Nash has 10 assists over Brown. Nash from the floor tonight has shot over 70%, 8 of 11. He's got 24 in 33 minutes.
How about the Lakers are shooting 60% and down 5 because of their turnovers, 19 that have led to 27 points for the Suns.
Kobe, Barbosa picked up the foul. And Leandro picks up number 4. This is a Phoenix team, Doug, which this season has struggled with close games.
Well, they are the only team in NBA history, other than the Washington Capitals, the team that I coached in 50-51 that disbanded after 35 games, to not win a game by 3 points or less in the regular season. That is an amazing stat. You think of having Steve Nash and Sean Marion and all these guys, they've never won a game this season under 3 points or less.
And they've lost one of those games in this series already, so they're 0-8 if you include the playoffs. And Kobe brings the Lakers to within 3. Is this the kind of game you expected?
No, I did not. I did not know that Phoenix could find a way to hang around like this.
Look at Nash contorting and traveling.
Shuffled his feet there. He lost his balance just for a moment and shuffled his feet. It looked like his foot slid out from underneath him. Now watch him here as Kwame Brown slides over. Watch him. He pump fakes.
Yeah.
Oh, that left foot looked like it stayed down. The right foot went up. I'd have to see that again. That was very close.
That's only the second turnover by Steve Nash tonight. He had 4 on Tuesday, only 2 tonight.
Sean Marion now playing Kobe. Remember now, Sean has 4 personal fouls.
Marion was successful earlier in the game when he had his stint against Kobe. Look at Bryant. Tapped in, I think, by Kobe Bryant on his own miss.
Well, that was very close to still being on the cylinder.
I agree. 1-point game.
The Suns are going to have to win this game offensively. They're going to have to keep scoring because they're not going to be able to get the stops.
Thomas bulldozing his way in.
Now they have Luke Walton being played by Barbosa. They're going to try to now go in the post. They're exploiting matchups now, forcing double teams.
Walton across the lane and chases down the loose ball for an offensive rebound by the Los Angeles Lakers, who have controlled the glass tonight. They've controlled the glass in the series.
When you double team, it's hard to rebound because you lose blockout responsibility.
Halfway through the fourth. Odom to Brown.
See the double team once again. That time it was a soft pass that Kwame could handle. It's going to be, can the Suns come down, spread out, and shoot the ball? Because you know the Lakers are going to pound it inside.
Diaw the screen. Nash into Brown.
He didn't even hit the rim. It just barely ripples the net. See, they're switching all those screen rolls. Nash knows that, so he's going to get Kwame Brown involved in many pick and rolls as he can.
Again, Marion is guarding Kobe Bryant. Kwame Brown with another offensive rebound for the Los Angeles Lakers, and a screen for Kobe's three. Marion with the rebound. He has collected 9 tonight.
That was a quick shot by Kobe. They have the advantage inside. He does not need the three at that point in time.
Lakers are 6 of 17 shooting the three ball tonight. It's Nash, and again they got Brown on him.
Steve knows that was a tough shot there as Kwame Brown came out on him.
4:51 to play. Phoenix facing elimination for a second consecutive game. You're watching the playoffs on TNT.
Nash understands that. He takes his time once again. This time he drives it, sort of bumps Kwame Brown. Steps back, makes the little jump shot, doesn't even touch the rim as it goes in. And it'll be very interesting here, Kevin. Some interesting numbers. Kobe Bryant has 33 points tonight. It's his first 30-plus point game. He had 2 29s. And interestingly enough, the Suns are sitting on 98 points. When they've scored 100 points in this series, they've won. And when they've shot over 45%, they have won. Which numbers are going to wash out here tonight? And who's going to find a way to win this game?
Here's Odom against Diaw in the lane. Points in the paint. Doug, is that one of the areas you're going to watch here for the final 4.5?
And rebounding.
Right.
Points in the paint and offensive rebounding. And the Suns are going to have to keep scoring.
Phoenix has not had an answer for Lamar Odom all series long. Tonight, 22 and 6 authored here in the fourth quarter. Diaw working on Kobe Bryant. And it's off the Lakers. Shot clock will be at 6 and Phoenix will inbound.
Now, Kobe Bryant says to Kwame Brown, I don't want any double team help. You stay with Barbosa at the top. Don't come down and let them shoot the three.
Nash knocked away, deflected by Kobe Bryant.
14 turnovers now for the Suns. That margin starting to creep down a little bit now. Only plus 11 on points off turnovers for the Suns.
Lakers have only led for 12 seconds in the second half. They can take a lead here. Odom against Diaw. Parker. Brown. Shot clock down to 4 against Thomas. Kwame Brown for the lead.
Power lineup against speed lineup. Phil Jackson says it's a big man's game. Size wins. Here is Tim Thomas down below trying to help out on Kwame Brown. He's had his career high tonight in the playoffs. It was 14. He now has 16, has a chance to step up and make this a 2-point game. And there's a guy that used to broadcast our games in Philadelphia. His name is Ralph Lawler. He does the Clippers games now. And Lawler's Law, his first team to 100 wins. We'll see tonight.
He's got a pretty good percentage, too. It's Nash. Diaw picked up by the smaller Smush Parker. That ties it.
See, they're going to now, whoever Diaw is playing, they're trying to run screen roll. That time, Parker switched it instead of Kobe Bryant. Went inside, and he was able to score over the top.
Diaw just getting his first field goal since halfway through the third quarter. Remember, he had 25 on Tuesday in Game 5. Walton They're running down that shot clock every possession. And they're going to need some. That's going to be Phoenix's ball with 3:12 to play.
Elimination game tied. 3 minutes to go. Could you ask for more? Tied at 100. Back to that play once again, trying to get the switch, and if they have it, now they're going to go back inside, looking for a double team.
The taller Diaw, the smaller Parker. Barbosa, the rotation, ending up with Marion. Shot clock at 3 for Sean Marion. Lamar Odom has grabbed the rebound. That is his 9th with 22 points and 7 assists, and here he comes. Screen by Brown, switch Thomas on Kobe Bryant. Good rebound by Sean Marion, claiming number 10. He's got a double-double, 14 and 10 tonight. Steve Nash knocked away by Parker, who picks up the foul for the Los Angeles Lakers.
See what happens on that play now, Kevin. You get Nash going inside. You don't switch that time. You had Parker try to chase over. And what happens is you don't want to leave three-point shooters because Nash has got his three-point shooters on the wing. So this is going to be an interesting finish as Nash is getting ready to shoot 2.
He's the #1 free throw shooter in the NBA, and we're tied at 100. The NBA playoffs continue Saturday on TNT. Either the Lakers and Phoenix Game 7 or the Lakers and Clippers Game 1 here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan. What do you expect now for the final 2:11?
Well, it's a grinded-out game, and you would expect the Lakers to have the advantage. It's interesting, after scoring 30, 30, and 28 points in the first 3 quarters, the Suns only 12. Can they win a half-court game against the bigger, stronger Lakers now here with about 2:11 to go? Nash shooting 2 free throws here to try to give his team a 2-point lead.
And the Lakers, Doug, have been very successful in this series, last handful of games in particular, closing out fourth quarters.
Yeah, and the heartbreaker was Game 4. They outscored them 17-9, the Lakers, to force the overtime, and the heroics of Kobe Bryant as he knocked the shot in to win that game by 1.
The Suns led here in the fourth quarter by 5 with 7:48 to play, 94-89. Lakers since have gone on an 11-6 run. Nash has been perfect at the line tonight, 7 of 7, 26 points and 10 assists.
No margin for error now. Now it's the team that executes, rebounds, takes care of the ball, gets good shots, doesn't give up easy points. Now it comes down to 2 minutes and 11 seconds of execution.
Lakers with Parker and Bryant, Brown and Walton, and Lamar Odom.
See if they go back inside to Kwame Brown. He's had the mismatch inside.
Marion is on Kobe Bryant, who has gone 13 of 25 tonight. Shot clock is down to 5. Kobe. Oh, what a shot by Kobe Bryant. It's a 2, and the Lakers on top by 1. No, it's a 3.
I don't like this matchup for these Suns right here. Kobe Bryant's a heck of a defender. I'd rather see Nash go against Kwame Brown.
It's Nash to Marion to Diaz. Shot clock at 1 for Tim Thomas. A missed 3 and Odom rebound.
How about Kobe Bryant? The legend just lives on, doesn't it? The guy hits the big 3. He hit the game winner in Game 4.
Bryant's got 36. Here comes Parker, knocked away by Diaw. Suns can take a lead. 1 minute to play in regulation.
What is Smoosh Parker doing going one-on-one? He struggled the whole game.
Barbosa, Tim Thomas for the lead.
You got to get the ball to Kobe Bryant right now. You got to get in his hands, let him make the plays. Either take the shot or find an open teammate.
What's the degree of difficulty on this shot by Kobe?
Look at him step back behind the three-point line. It looked like he was inside the 2. How many kinds of shots has he hit throughout his career like this? In Hollywood, you like to have great acting, and look at putting the hex on him, Jack Nicholson.
Game 4 was a lot like this one, close to the very end. At the end of regulation, Parker knocked it away, and then Kobe Bryant tied the game. And then in overtime, Kobe Bryant won the game. And the Los Angeles Lakers were up 3-1. Moments ago, Kobe with the double and 1 second left on the shot clock. Drains the 3.
Remember we talked about in the open the Kobe factor going into this game. 3 NBA titles, 124 career playoff games, NBA's leading scorer. Can the Suns get a stop? And can they do something they haven't done all year long, win a game by under 3 points or less? This is the biggest possession of the season for the Phoenix Suns.
The 2 seed, one of the best records in the NBA, made the Western Conference Finals a season ago.
Got Marion guarding Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash matched up against Parker. Kwame Brown being guarded by Tim Thomas.
Shot clock at 12. Marion is on Kobe Bryant. Kobe. Suns have not hit anything from the field in the last 3 minutes. They need a 3 to tie. Nash lost it, got it. Barbosa and Nash for the tie. Marion the rebound. Tim Thomas with the fake for the tie. 6.3 to play in regulation. Timeout.
Oh my, what a shot. How about the hustle of the Suns though? Understanding clock down at 10 seconds. They needed a 3. Instead of taking the 2, they kicked the ball out. Tim Thomas pump fakes. Look at this shot by Kobe Bryant. Degree of difficulty, and this is gymnastics. He'd get an extra point for that one. 2 spectacular shots, and then Sean Marion, the great offensive rebound. Look at the pump fake to get Kwame Brown off his feet. He buries the 3.
And Thomas has been good from 3-point territory this entire series, wanting the ball in the great lure, and bang, 105 with 6.3, and the Lakers with possession.
And you're looking down there and you're going, one more chance for Kobe Bryant to try to win this game and put his team into the next round. Phil Jackson has seen some incredible shots during his Laker tenure. Remember the Robert Horry shot? Made that series 2-2 instead of 3-1. Fisher makes this series 3-2. They go on and win and go to the NBA Finals. And then Kobe the other night against Phoenix. Does he have one more left tonight, or can the Suns find a way to get a stop and send this to overtime?
You mentioned before the Phoenix Suns in close games, Doug, have really struggled this season.
It's sort of amazing. Again, you think about with the firepower they've had during the season. Question is going to be, how are they going to get the ball to Kobe Bryant? You know he's going to get it in an area, and what Kobe will do is he'll measure it, and he'll take his time and make sure that that shot's in the air, that Phoenix will have no chance if he misses it to get another opportunity to basket. Now where he is, what's going to happen here is he's going to back pick for Odom. His ball's probably going to go up to the top. He's going to back pick for Odom, and then he's going to come off a pick for Kwame Brown up to the top. This is a play they used to like to run here. I'm looking at the clock.
Is this the dagger? Nope, overtime. 105-105. The shot by Tim Thomas, who has been great above the arc the entire series, comes up with a game-tying and an overtime forcing 3-point shot. The Suns facing elimination. And overtime is upon us on TNT.
Well, that big sigh of relief that you feel right now if you were in Phoenix, Arizona, is Kobe Bryant catches the ball. Now keep your eye on Steve Nash. He's going to be at the free throw line. He's not even worried about Smush Parker. They're going to force him into a double team, get a hand up in the face, and just sort of look around to see if that shot's going to go. Marion does a nice job forcing him to help, gets a hand up, does not foul the shooter. Kobe all under kind of duress there. Wasn't able to get it to go. I tell you, Kevin, you cannot question the resiliency of this Phoenix Suns team. With all the adversity they have gone through, you lose Raja Bell, who's back at the hotel right now praying for one more game. Just give me one more chance in Game 7.
Marion quickly inside. It's picked up by Lamar Odom. And the Los Angeles Clippers are wondering who they're going to play and when they're going to play. Kobe Bryant. And Kobe has put in 38. They get 40 now as he has gone 16 of 29.
He's done that 27 times this year, the first time in the playoffs, and those games are 18 and 9 when he scores 40.
27 times, 28 tonight. Wow. Diaw is wide open.
That shot will be there because Kwame Brown is back plugging the lane, and they will give Diaw that open jump shot, not to let Nash get to the basket for a layup.
Here comes Bryant now, picked up by Sean Marion. Barbosa is out there, and he's got Walton on the other side of the lane. The shot clock again goes down to deep single digits at 2. Kobe.
Come on. That is way too good. I mean, you can't guard that. I mean, he pump faked twice, spun him back the other way. That is amazing how
42.
tough that shot was.
42 points for Kobe Bryant. He's also got 5 assists and 8 rebounds. Nash to Diaw. Comes right back and ties it for Phoenix.
Now Diaw's starting to go to work a little bit. He now has 17 points and becoming much more aggressive. You know it's going to Kobe. If you put too much attention on him, you got to look out for offensive rebounds, second shots if Kobe does miss.
Goes inside to Walton, guarded by Thomas.
You got it!
Thomas picks it up. Quick outlet to Barbosa. Transition by the Phoenix Suns. Sean Marion. That's been a play they have perfected throughout the regular season, although it has not been that much of a weapon in this series against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Now the Lakers have scouted it well.
Odom is double. They go into Brown, pickpocketed by Barbosa.
Suns trying to get a double-digit lead.
And Diaw puts it in.
Excuse me, I mean a 2-possession lead, 4 points. So now a 3 does not tie you. Here we are, 2:30 to go. He had a miss by Luke Walton, a fumbled pass by Kwame Brown on the pass from Lamar Odom. Kevin, you described this shot right here. Pump fake, spin back, step back.
That's like a dance.
And doesn't even hit the rim. And then Steve Nash with a little floater to Marion. We saw so much of that in the regular season. And Diaw coming to work here in the overtime. Now he has 19, 6 in the overtime, and the Suns lead by 4.
Southwest Airlines game break. Ernie Johnson, Studio J in Atlanta. Remember, Inside the NBA presented by Hyundai comes your way after the game. Charles and Kenny will be here with their insights. What a first-round series this has been between the Lakers and the Suns. Is this the finale, or will it continue to Game 7? Great stuff at Staples Center. Let's get back to Kevin and Doug, guys.
EJ, thank you very much. We've got 2:30 to play in this first overtime with the Suns on top by 4. As we peek into the foul problems that both teams are dealing with right now.
Now, Tim Thomas has 5. They need to keep him on the floor. That big three-point shooter that tied the game going into overtime. Marion Diaw, Barbosa with 4. And then for the Lakers, Smush Parker with 5. Kwame Brown, Walton, Vujacic with 4. See where the Lakers are going to go on this possession. See if they can get that ball back in the paint.
Kevin George has taken the place of Luke Walton. Suns on a 6-0 run the last minute plus. Marion is on Kobe Bryant, who's got 42 points, and the shot clock is down to 3. Marion picks up the foul, so that is number 5 on him.
See, if I'm Mike D'Antoni, I tell Steve Nash, you can be very active roaming around. Make Smush Parker make a shot. He has struggled all night. He's 0 of 5, has not looked comfortable. He would be my roamer, and I would make Smush Parker have to take a shot. If he makes it, I would live with that. Not let these other guys. Devin George has been shooting the ball well.
George has scored 13 points in 22 minutes.
And Sean Marion, remember now, in game 4, he picked up 3 quick fouls and fouled out, missed the last 3 minutes and overtime in that game. He's guarding Kobe Bryant, trying not to foul out of this game.
Kobe. Rebound by Sean Marion. His 12th rebound was 16 points.
See, Kobe tried to draw that foul, thought he was going to get the foul, and they did not give it to him. Joe DeRosa.
Lakers have missed their last 2, and here comes Phoenix. Gone to Diaw a lot, who then finds Thomas, who launches a 3. Good! Right in front of the Laker bench, and a surprised Phil Jackson.
Huge shot. Remember, he hit the 3 to tie it. Now a 7-point lead. The Suns cannot relax.
Nor can Kobe. He's amazing with the left hand there.
Suns have to keep scoring. They have to keep the pressure on.
Odom is on Nash. And off to Marion from Steve Nash, who picks up his 13th assist tonight.
7-point lead, minute 16 to go. Can the Suns hold on and send it to game 7?
Suns are 6 of 7 shooting from overtime in this period, and Odom. Nash again, the full court pressure by the Lakers. Diaw, Marion, skies high and comes down hard.
This is amazing. What an amazing night for the Phoenix Suns. They are 57.9 seconds away from a remarkable victory. Undermanned. This would be amazing. Tim Thomas, the big shot that put him up 7. And then the dunk, DL with a little alley-oop to Marion. He flushes it down. A 9-point lead. I thought the Suns would have to score 120 to win it. They're sitting on 120.
The end of regulation, we were tied at 105, and Phoenix has been spectacular. 7 of 8 from the field, hitting the last 7 shots in this overtime, which now has under 1 minute remaining in it.
Well, Kobe in the timeout was very upset at Devin George. He said, I told you not to go, I'm going, or whatever. They got confused, and that's where Tim Thomas was left for that 3-point shot. Kobe said, I'm the one that's going on that. So still a lot of time, though, Kevin. I'm telling you, the Suns cannot relax with this 9-point lead. I know it's a 3-possession game, but we've seen crazier things happen. We saw them lose a 5-point lead with 12 seconds.
Absolutely. Here's Bryant, who has taken 32. That's his 33rd shot tonight. That's a 3.
Better stay out of those trapping corners.
Watch the 8-second count. Barbosa gets tangled up in a foul called on Kobe Bryant. Now, I mentioned 33 shots, Doug, in 51 minutes with 47 points. It's the first game that I can recall that he's really tried to take more of an offensive presence.
There's no question. We always wondered what was going to happen in tonight's game if it got close, and Kobe has tried to win this game. He has 47 points. And make sure they get this ball inbounds. Get it to Steve Nash if they can. He's their best free throw shooter. Spread the floor and stay out of the corners. We're letting them burn a lot of clock here. I'm really shocked that they're letting them take this kind of time off. Now you foul the best free throw shooter in the NBA. Suns did a nice job spreading them out. So if Nash makes these 2, it's an 8-point lead. So there's been 20 seconds go off the clock, and you've only lost 1 point.
And Nash is 9 of 9 at the free throw line tonight. 13 assists. He's played 45 minutes. Been averaging a lot of minutes in this series.
Kevin, game 7s are absolutely amazing. And you just think about this. The last time these Suns were in here, they had their heart broken Mike D'Antoni said it was the most crushing experience he's ever had as a coach or basketball. He's 54 years old, been involved 46 years in sports, and he said it was the most devastating moment of his coaching career. This might be his most exhilarating if they can hold on and win this game and show the kind of grit that he's seen in this team all year long.
Kobe for three.
Oh, my goodness.
Banking it in.
I mean, this is far from over, Kevin. It's a 5-point game now.
Kobe's got 50 points.
Remember, the Suns lost a 5-point lead.
Oh, he stepped. Oh, he shoved. He was shoved by Devin George. Kobe has now scored 50 points or more 7 times this season.
You know, as a coach, all you're saying is if one of these misses, the game is over. That goes in. You have to make 2 free throws. And then this goes in. If that shot misses, you rebound, and the game is over. But when you're coaching and you're leading like this, the clock will not stop. Now, Nash needs to make both of these to push this to a 3-possession game. Right now, it's a 2-possession game. So he needs to make this one to make it a 7-point game and makes it a 3-possession game.
And the Phoenix Suns have hit 11 consecutive free throws, so they have answered that as well. 22 of 26 for the game. There's a difference of 6 seconds, game clock and shot clock.
They're 1 miss away and 1 rebound from this game being over. Will Kobe miss?
Brown couldn't grab it. Devin George will walk to 3.
Oh, he almost fouled him. He did foul him, and it almost went in. Fouled a 3-point shooter.
Barbosa fouled him. Barbosa picks up number 5. 21 seconds to play, and 3 free throws for George, who will be making his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
He did. He reached in. I mean, the last thing you want to do is foul in that situation. Mike D'Antoni said this game will never end. They got to foul immediately, so the Suns are going to understand the Lakers are going to make a play on the ball. If they get caught, they need to call a timeout, not force anything where they can turn the basketball over.
Devin George is now 2 of 4 from the free throw line in this series. Six-point game, 21.1 left in overtime.
Watch Kobe Bryant come flying down the lane here.
Thomas with the rebound and a quick Los Angeles Laker foul.
Remember what Kobe said before the game, what his biggest concern was? Youth.
How young the team was.
And inexperience. And you know what happened at the end of this game, and it's not over yet, but Kobe tried to finish this game off by himself.
Doug, he's got more playoff experience than the rest of the team combined.
124 playoff games, 3 championships.
Tonight he has his playoff career high. Thomas at the line. And now Tim Thomas, who has come off the bench with 20 points, 4 of 4 from the stripe, 20 points in 36 minutes in a game where they didn't have Raja Bell. And they had to rely on him as really their workhorse off the bench. Hit the game-tying shot that drove it to overtime. And from that point on, the Suns looked like one of the best teams in the NBA. They were just terrific. 21 overtime points by Phoenix. Lamar Odom. Nash with the rebound. We've got a Game 7 coming up in Phoenix. It'll be on Saturday night. It'll be on TNT. And Phoenix was down 3 games to 1. And they have now tied the series at 3 apiece.
Phil Jackson is 44-0 when he's been leading in a playoff series. That streak is in jeopardy going to the desert for Game 7. And you think these Phoenix Suns are not going to be ready Saturday night? This should be some kind of matchup.
Let's check out tonight's closer of the game presented by TNT's The Closer, Steve Nash, with a 32-13 performance and finding one Sun after another. The Suns in overtime went 7 of 8 from the field. They hit many consecutive free throws going from the fourth quarter into overtime, 14 straight. and they finish off the Lakers in Los Angeles. Steve Nash is with our David Aldridge.
Steve, you're down without Roger Bell coming into this game. You're in the closeout game on the road. How did you do this?
Well, we hung in there. You know, we got a lot of adversity at the moment. We faced a lot throughout the series, but we just hung in there and keep playing. And we know we love playing together, and you know, it makes it a lot of fun for us and easy to stick with it.
How did you like Leandro Barbosa tonight?
Leandro was great. You know, he stepped up offensively. He was outstanding. Gave us a different look with the double pick and rolls in the first quarter, first half, and you know, he battled Kobe. Kobe made a lot of shots, but he didn't give him too much easy. It was great. You know, we did this for Roger though.
On the last three in regulation, obviously it's a scramble situation. You're looking for anything in particular on that?
Well, they played me the three. I tried to get to the basket. If we get a 2 and a foul, if we can get an easy one. Didn't get it. Kicked it out. I thought I rushed my three because I didn't know the time, and Kwame closed on me. Timmy made a big shot. I was yelling at him and passed it back to me, and he sidestepped his man and made a big shot. And, you know, it takes balls, you know, in that situation, and he's got them.
You get back home. You got it back to Phoenix for one game.
Yep, we haven't done anything yet. We got to go back and regroup and refocus and, you know, really let that home crowd get behind us.
Steve, thanks very much. All right, rah. Back to you, Mr. Harlan.
Phoenix Suns had 4 players that scored at least 20 points. Nash led them all with 32. Kobe Bryant with 50 points in 52 minutes. And this is the way the West is looking. Dallas has already won over Memphis. Clippers have already taken care of Denver. On top, you see San Antonio and Sacramento still very much involved. And we've got a Game 7 Phoenix and Los Angeles.
We are waiting, we are balancing.
7 times in NBA history has a team come back from 3-1 down. Will the Phoenix Suns become number 8?
Okay.
Game 7 coming your way on TNT on Saturday. For Doug Collins and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Los Angeles. Sending you to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.